What's up?
Donnie, I didn't even hear the song.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Did you hear the song?
I did hear.
Oh, I was like, I thought it was just like, it was just spinning like I had time, like I thought it was like a stream starting soon kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm just letting Chelsea know I'm recording with Donnie. I'm going to put out a tweet over here. And then you're like, hey, and I'm like, totally with you. Yep. 100%. I'm a professional. I've done this before.
The sad part is that the Streamlabs connection to Twitter suddenly has stopped working again. So,
man, this Streamlabs business,
yeah, it just comes and goes.
Melon, Streamlabs, whatever they want to call it.
For the most part, it works. Like, it gets the shows recorded. That's the most important part.
That's what we need. Actually, that's funny you should say that. I feel like that might be an
part
omen.
of it. I could take or leave. Like I just
fair.
I just fixed that problem in
it's
about
the
3
hold.
seconds. Yeah, it's the hold.
Anybody can take a reservation.
I just watched that episode yesterday, I think.
Did you?
Or the day before, maybe? Yeah.
Where are you watching it? What do you like?
Netflix.
What do you stream it on? Netflix? Nice.
Yeah. Seinfeld on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's
Yes.
available anywhere else, but I know it's on Netflix, so I watch it there.
That was a question for you, and in general, where does one watch it? Yes,
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
But also, I was kind of hoping you might say like I've got the DVDs or something.
Oh, I do have the DVD. I have the box set,
like
the collector's set.
Mhm.
But why get up and change the DVD when it's on Netflix?
Well, then it begs the question: why have it at all?
Well,
But
no, 'cause it may
maybe
not
one day
be
it
on
goes
Netflix.
off of Netflix.
Exactly, and that's why I have it. Like The Office, which I also own every DVD and Blu-ray of.
The Office.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had a moment where I just like everything's cluttered and I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and one day I will regret it. I just need to count all the days that I don't.
How much
regret.
did you make in that like grand 3DS purge of yours?
Oh,
Did you,
thousands.
make like new car money?
I want to say I haven't. Like, this isn't like a net positive for me. Like, this is digging me out of trouble. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm clear about that, because people are like, look at this guy just swimming around in this Scrooge McDuck pool of
the rich and the famous.
Exactly. Like, absolutely not. You all have seen how frivolous and flippant I've been with dollars. Hambone in the chat.
Hanks.
Oh, so cool. So yeah, a lot of it has just been like trying to rectify something that I've been meaning to get around to for quite some time, which is get a handle on the old finances over here, Donnie.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just kind of basically hoping I die before that day comes. I'm like, I'll just call it quits.
Pass it on.
It's there.
Yeah, some parents dream of passing on like generational wealth. We dream of, the day that we get to pass on our generational debt.
No, I told my wife, we just have to be very judicious at making sure that the life insurance covers the house.
Totally. Just
Then
get
we're
you.
good
That's
to
how you
go.
get out.
Right,
Mhm.
she's totally good to go. I'm 100% going before her, so she'll be fine.
Oh my god, dude.
So
I mean, statistically, yeah, the guys.
it's not even
usually go
it's a
first.
fact. Like this is a
You're just
this is a
ensuring
s-
it happens.
yeah. This isn't a surprise. It's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler for you. Okay, I just want to say I don't like joking around about this stuff, because Bobby and I joked about his mortality a couple times. Actually, he joked about it, and I'm like, I don't like this. The last episode of anything that we recorded was him talking about how he had 20 years left. And I'm like, please, more than 20 years, and you didn't even have 1 year. So I don't want to.
I think I might have 20.
Don't do it. I don't like this. I just
right in that range, maybe 20. I may have 20 more Christmases in me. But
I don't like doing this.
Here's assuming the world's gonna, like, at this point, who knows, Sean?
Look, we're good up here. Okay. Our heat warning, it's in the 90s. Our disaster heat situation, it's the 90s. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. It's 34, 35 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Here's our weather section. It's 95, and everybody's
That's
freaking
hot.
out, Donnie. It is
I
hot.
can imagine. That's really hot for Canada. That's normal for Georgia.
Yes. Yeah.
How's
This
the
is
humidity up there?
it's dry. It's nothing terrible. Let's see. Edmonton weather. I can't even spell it right. Let's get a humidity 34. Humidity's fine.
So my weather is anywhere from 95 to like 101 with 100% humidity, essentially from June to August. Like
Disgusting.
Georgia.
That's not correct. That's not right. Nobody wants that.
Rainforest down here.
Yeah, that's awful.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you. You Canadians are suffering,
freaking out. Yes,
I imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, Sean, global warming is not a thing. It's made up.
That's what I heard.
They try to tell you it's made up. I love their like
everything's fine.
They look look, this is normal. The Earth goes through cycles. It's like, yeah, after asteroids hit and kill everything. What are you talking about? Morons?
Oh my god, dude. Don't worry about it. We're sending up all the satellites up into space. It'll block out the sun. Everything's gonna be fine. We'll cool it right down. All that
I told my wife this morning,
orbital dust.
Like, I've just given up. At this point, I just want to laugh at the hilarious of it, and that's it. Like I can't care anymore.
There are certain things, and this has popped up in my life recently a couple times, where I just become like so overwhelmed by there's no overcoming a lot of this stuff. Like, what can I hate thinking like this. Like, me, it's like, let's take charge.
Yeah,
there's something
nihilist,
every one of us can do. Well, this is my ebbs and flows.
Hands up. Yeah,
it is a bit of a, I guess I'll die.
Well. Yeah, I mean, I was making fun of, I had to post these, I've been posting memes on Facebook. I posted one of like the Flex Seal guy, and it's like the world totally ending, and it's this Flex Seal college football. And it's like, that is football. Exactly where I am right now. It's like, well, somebody else's fucking problem to figure out, I guess. God, dude. I will be playing college football. Like I'm
so excited for you. Yeah. I know, man. Like some things, it's just like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Then I started thinking about my kids and like, what world are they supposed to grow up in? And like,
that's the luck,
dude. I know. This is like maybe the people without kids are the real heroes out here. The parents' distress of like, I can't believe I'm bringing a kid into this world. Like, I can't believe we did. I can't believe we brought kids into this world. What's happening? It's all over. That's awful.
Welcome to Sweet Hangs, July.
Sweet Hangs. All right. Positive vibes.
Might be the last one. Who knows? We'll find out together.
Shut up. I hate it. I hate it so much. It could be me. I'm going on a big long bike ride this weekend. It's dangerous. There's cars on the highway, man. I hope I come back. I'm glad we did this. This is why you gotta, even if it's busy, life is busy, you gotta make time.
Yeah.
You gotta make time for what's important, like Sweet Hangs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, I know you have a Twitch channel. We're live here on twitch.tv/TV, whatever the fuck.
We do have a Twitch channel. Sometimes I'm glad you know, because sometimes I don't. Like
I just want to remind you have a Twitch channel. Yes, for PSVG. And the reason I bring it up is because I would love to watch you play football, like NCAA football. I want to see. Yeah? I think that would be great. I mean, I would love to watch you do any of it.
I had some thrilling moments yesterday. The game is the game is different. It's not the same game, right? It's not the same game that we had 10 years ago. And one of the things that is different is the difficulty levels. I started on easy because not sure what I wanted to get into, not sure the mechanics. And after my first game, I was like, well, that was way too easy. So I bumped it up twice to All-American. And then I found myself in the grips of the most tense game I've ever played.
Nice.
Coming down to like the final moments. I was like, oh.
That's great.
So
that's why I want to see it. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I kept playing. Yeah, I had a touchback. I had Michigan pinned down on the 1 yard line. It was like 2 minutes to go. I had a 2-point lead, and I got the safety on third down to go up by. I think it was a 2-point lead. And I extended it by 4. Yeah. And got the ball back and ran out the clock. And I was like, oof. It's been a minute since I had gripped the ends of my controller that hard.
Yes.
So I'm playing there. When franchise mode comes out, I'm not sure if they have multiple, like they used to have difficulty levels like for gameplay and for recruiting and for like the sim element and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they do that, I'll probably mix and match. If they don't, I might drop down a level for Dynasty. I don't know. But yeah, I'm
leaning
I've been,
towards like easier on the GM side, like the more sim side.
I don't want to
Yeah.
grind too hard on the actual recruiting part of it and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
But I will say this: it's everything I wanted it to be, and then some. It is quite excellent, actually. The game was
Yes.
supposed to come out a year ago,
Mhm.
and I'm really glad that they kept it and they
Yeah.
kept working on it. It's a very polished game. It's utterly beautiful. The amount of and like the animation work that they've put into the game, it feels incredibly different than Madden, from a gameplay style. And the funny thing is, through all of that, I still see like probably some room for improvement. Like I hope they've got some patches coming. They can fix it. Nothing to like point fingers at, nothing bad, but like minor things. Like seen pop in, I've seen some animation pop in, some cutscene pop in, things like that. It's like, wow, they've had all this time, and I still see room for improvement, but
Yeah.
what they've delivered is a very polished, full game.
What are you playing on? You're playing on PC?
No, it's not
Or
on
Xbox?
PC, Xbox.
Yeah.
So if you have Game Pass Ultimate,
That budget console experience.
there's a 10-hour trial via EA Play that you can play right away. So I'm playing that now. I have 2 hours left, and then I bought the standard edition, which goes live on Friday.
Nice.
So,
Dude, I was like, where am I? Like, I don't even realize this game was out yet. And here you are playing it. The trial totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, of course. Oh, I love that, man.
Because I didn't buy the super edition because it has like a big Michigan player on the front. And I was like, I don't want that on my
cannot support this.
Yeah. It's like absolutely not.
No.
Also, Dynasty or Team Builder doesn't go live until Friday.
Okay.
And I don't want to start my Dynasty until I can make my alma mater with Team Builder. So right now I'm playing Road to Glory, which is like the MLB The Show, the mode where you play as like one singular character and you journey your way through.
Is there like a story and everything? Like I think Madden did and FIFA did.
Not nothing like that. No cutscenes or anything. But there is like a little light sim aspect where in between weeks you have tasks to do. You have to keep your grades up. You have to answer questions. You get texts on your phone from teammate or coaches or journalists. You get offered NIL deals. You get asked out to parties and things like that, and your decisions affect your stats, and you have to battle for your position, and you can go into the transfer portal. So if you don't like what's going on, you can leave.
So if you don't go to parties, you get like really good grades and you're great at your team. If you do go to the parties, you get a hotter wife.
That's it.
Yeah. There's got to be some sort of
there's
pull to go to the parties. Like why wouldn't you?
Sometimes you can get away with it, and sometimes you'll get caught. But like like it'll backfire. So,
but why would you like in a video game situation where you're trying to be a great athlete? Why wouldn't you skip the parties?
Well, I think it's funny because in today's landscape of college football, where everybody's like legit just getting paid, there's a bunch of kids that are like, we didn't come here to school, like to go to school. It's like a funny thing that Cardell Jones, former Ohio State Buckeye quarterback, said when he was tweeted about his grades. He's like, I didn't come here to school, an actual university. That's funny that they even make you like keep your GPA up. It's like I'm going to the pros in 9 months. I don't give a shit about your classes. It's funny. It's very good. I've been playing nothing but it since yesterday.
I'm so stoked for you, dude. Like, I just want to see you play. I love hearing about it, but I would love to just go like, how does Donnie experience this? Like, this is like me with Starfield.
It's all I'm going to play for probably a while. So I'm probably not going to have a whole lot to bring to many podcasts, I don't think. Running the option is fucking me up all kinds of different ways. I have I have a decade of muscle memory. So this game changed the way the option mechanic works. So before, when you ran the option, let's see what is it? You had to hold the button to give. Now you hold the button to keep. So it's the reverse. It's the opposite.
Why?
And it is screwing me all kinds up. You also, like, I tried running the triple option yesterday, and it was just a comedy of errors. Like, I kept the ball, and then I moved, and then the end tried to hit me. I tried to pitch it, but then I pitched it off the dude's helmet, and the ball flew up in the air, and I was like, oh my goodness. It's like you don't even know what you're doing.
How's the commentary through all this? Because I just imagine like a moment like that, you don't want there to be good commentary, or you shut it off.
The commentary's fine.
Yeah,
I've already heard a lot of the same things being said already, so I don't know how much depth there is. I'm holding on to like putting any judgment. So far, I've been playing a lot of Exhibition, Road to Glory. So
How many days could you've put maybe 8 hours into this thing?
yeah,
Yeah, that's I
yeah,
mean that's fair to
yeah. So
not
I
put a
don't know if
final
maybe they
stamp
have a
on
little
it.
bit more, but I'm already starting to hear kind of the same kind of intros to the game, outros of the game,
Sure.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to
It's good.
see,
It's
like,
got
I
the
always
real
have like
people.
I love sports just in general. I love the excitement of it. And I get like almost like overly critical about sports games on like where they haven't gotten to yet, which is fair, maybe not fair. But I would love to see like a highlight reel. Like just like some sort of like the game develops some sort of like ESPN, Sports Center, like that
Sure.
game and the other games that are happening kind of in the league, like some other way, to give that like TV experience. But then also, I feel like sports games have often struggled with making you feel like you're part of a league that has other teams in it. Like aside from kind of the leaderboards and stuff that kind of like pop up.
Yeah.
You know, like
That
if it
makes sense.
ran a sim somehow and then afterwards kind of had like these plays that showed up, even if it was like a touchdown or like a last field goal that happened or something like that. Like I don't know. I often get like this. I just want
NFL
more for it.
2K5 was the
2K5
kind of it went really hard at trying to do that.
Yeah.
The production
Like on
values for the
Dreamcast?
time. Yeah. Yeah, and Xbox and PlayStation 2. Yeah,
Back in
exactly.
those days. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you ever played it. That was the last 2K NFL game, I think. Maybe there was another one, but before Madden got it exclusively and put them kind of out of business.
I did have whatever
They
it
went
was.
hard
Maybe
on the
I
production value.
think it was just 2K, like NFL 2K I had on Dreamcast.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're right.
2K5,
Like they went
2K5 had the ESPN broadcast team that would lead in and out of the games, had halftime shows, reflected the actual game, had like plays and recaps and commentary. It was pretty legit. It was making you look. It made you feel like you were playing like a real television product.
Yeah, and then I want the rest of the league, but that's a whole other thing. How do like players like, because these are college kids, like they're different. So like I feel like that's at the heart of maybe the difference between NCAA versus Madden. Like this, are they a little more clumsy? Are they quicker? Are they like they're not as
There's
developed.
more
They're
of
not
a range. So Madden, everybody feels the same. In college, it's not. If you've got a really star player, you're going to be able to. Their effect on the game is going to be huge.
I love it. Yeah, makes sense.
It's a more arcadey feeling, so it's a faster game.
Yeah.
You can exploit slower players more. You know, so like if you have a running quarterback, you're going to be OP. People are already reporting that running quarterbacks are overpowered in this game because you can just like run in circles like old school Mike Vick style. But you watch some college football and like they can actually do that. Like that is kind of the game. You know?
Yeah. And we're allowed to say Michael Vick again? We're okay with that?
Yeah. I don't think anybody cares anymore.
Yeah, it's fine. Far worse things have happened since then.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anybody cares anymore.
So bad.
So yeah, it's.
I'm happy for you, man. Maybe you'll play Delvin one of these days.
I've been talking about this for
years
ever since PSVG started.
Yeah,
I honestly never thought it was going to happen. So stoked.
Well,
and it does feel very much like Gen 1 sports game.
Sure.
You know, like
PGA Tour, 2K, the like 2K.
Just like anytime you have like a new console generation where a new engine is building a game, you know, like it's very polished. Exhibition is great. I'm sure Dynasty is very good. Road to Glory is good, but like that's kind of it. It's like that online modes. There's not a whole lot of modes. There's not a whole lot of menus. You know, it's not chock full of stuff. It's just like we've made the on-field gameplay as good as we possibly. Like it looks so much better than Madden looks. Like it looks so it's like it's
really
a system seller. It's a system seller for sure.
Okay.
The animations, the amount of animations that like it's apparent first game. I think anybody that plays this game that has played Madden, you play one game and you're like, oh shit, this is a different level. Because it is. Like it's as if they had 3 or 4 years to make a brand new Madden game. That's what this is.
Who knew? Yeah. So, that's a good cycle. Damn, dude. Because I remember like looking at, back in the day in like PC Gamer magazines and Xbox, official Xbox magazines, and then of course IGN. Like I love looking at screenshots of Madden and just going, I cannot believe games look like this. Dude,
Madden looked great.
Yeah, I know, and you know,
but it doesn't look this good.
Time. Oh, really? Okay.
The crowd. There's so many animations. The characters look so good.
Yeah.
The stadiums look so good. Like the weather effects, like it all just looks way better than it does in Madden.
Do you
Madden
think?
looks good, but it looks
Yeah,
like Madden has looked for several years.
sure. I don't know much about college football other than like what I gleaned from you guys talking about it on the show. Is
Mhm.
there like I guess like the true answer to my question is going to be for me to actually go and try it. But like from your sense, is there anything for like outside people to enjoy about the game? Like is there something for me to start to understand why college football is such a big deal?
That's going to be the really hard one. We've had a few people in our Discord come in and ask us kind of similar question. It's really hard to it's really hard to convey to outsiders what it is about college football.
Yeah.
College football is like a professional sport that's completely lawless.
That's a
And
good pitch.
a big part of it is the chaos involved. Like
Yeah.
entire conferences with 50-year legacies will implode overnight.
Yeah.
Players will spurn their schools and leave. Coaches will leave to go to the rival for more money. It is
Yeah.
lawless. It is a
Yeah.
lawless and chaotic.
And the drama that
And
comes from that. Like
the drama and the pageantry, and like
Yeah.
in betwixt all of that chaos,
Yeah.
there are rivalries and conferences and ties that go back 150 years
Yeah.
that have tradition upon tradition. Like being a Buckeye fan isn't a choice. You don't adopt being a Buck. You are a
What
Buckeye
school is
or
that?
you're not. Ohio State.
Okay.
And like when you grow up a Buckeye fan, you hate people from Michigan for no reason. You don't even know
Yeah.
why. You're just like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're the same way. And it's the
Mhm.
same way between Alabama and Auburn. It's the same way between LSU and Alabama, or LSU and Florida. Like there's a big like state pride, I think, that takes a part of it. And
Yeah.
here where I live now in Georgia, like in the South, it's religious down here.
Yeah.
You know, people, their entire weeks are made good or bad by how the football team does on Saturday. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's completely irrational, but it is reality. And yeah, it's hard. It is hard to explain to others.
But that
why it
screams
is
to
that
me
way.
like content. Like it's if the game itself isn't gonna do like kind of deliver on that drama of that's again just a wish that I had that they could kind of bring that to the forefront. Then it's content. It's podcasts, it's streaming, it's whatever
Sure.
else, like being able
There are
to or community.
gigantic underdog stories. There are
Yeah.
gigantic upsets that like shake the foundation of a season.
Yeah.
When you have a team like Appalachian State, a D2 school that doesn't even have recruits, walk into Ann Arbor, Michigan and beat the Michigan Wolverines, the best team in the country at the time.
Right.
Like that happened.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I
real
want out of the game.
Cinderella
Like tell me
story.
that, show me that. Like
Yeah.
bring me along. Like I think sometimes it seems like you kind of have to do that math on your own. Like you'll know
Well,
that. Like and
I'll
for
know
them,
that because I'm a fan. They do, if you play a rivalry game in the game, it'll start to give you some of that history and that
okay.
context.
Okay.
What I
yeah.
wish they would do is years and years ago, I'm talking NCAA, maybe like 2002.
Yeah.
The
We're so
load
old.
screens had like historical stories
Love
on
it.
the load screen.
Yes.
So it would pop up and it would tell you like the history of this rivalry and give you the overall record and, you know, the big moments of it. I do wish they did more of that. I think there's
Yeah.
a big room for them to do that. And I think they might, like going forward.
Yeah.
There's probably places to tap into that for sure.
Dude, like, I mean, not that I want to sign you up on things you don't want to do already, but like you would crush at a dedicated YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or a podcast about this game and just like
Oh yeah.
bringing to light all of this
yeah.
stuff. Like, I mean, it's so niche that it might not sound like it would be.
Now, here's
like
the thing, Sean. Because you're not into college football, you don't know this. There's 1,000 of those.
That's the end of my sentence. Oh, there's 1,000 of those creators
Podcast
and
community. Yeah, that's already the thing.
yeah, but
that's
you
been
would be
happening.
better than them.
No, I don't know. They're very good.
Maybe, but man, I don't know, dude. Like I was saying to you earlier this week because I was listening to you and Jason Lacey on the Nintendo Shack. I almost said Drive.
Yeah.
On the Shack.
Retro
I was
Shack.
like,
Classic Shack. Shack Classic.
yes, classic Shack, dude. I'm like, I was just grinning like an idiot listening to this podcast, having a little like time flash, having Jason talk about his son, who I think is like 24 years old at this point. Like,
Yeah, it blew me
We
away. I saw
blinked, and this
picture
guy's
of
got a
him, I was like,
full-grown adult son.
he's got a beard.
Yeah, but it was good
College football
to
is
good to hear you guys again. But
thanks. I always like it when I get a chance to invite him over. He's not always available, but when he
Yeah.
is, it's a good time.
that was awesome. Yeah, but I mean, like, I can't get enough. This is the thing. More Donnie, please.
Well, I think
That's
there's
why
gonna
we
be
do
less.
this.
I think I'm going to take a week or two off from Shaq, maybe. So
Whatever you want to do, Donnie.
I'm going to play.
Well,
some
just
football.
play the
That's what
game.
I want to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, good. What's
Mhm.
happened? I mean, maybe this is look. The last couple of months we've done this. It's been Xbox is dead. Maybe Nintendo is dead this month, Donnie.
Yeah.
No,
No, I think they're doing just fine.
I think they're fine.
Yeah, I just don't have I don't have football over there. If I had football over there, I'd play it there too.
Yes.
I
What about
really
cloud
wish they
version?
would. I keep saying Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think this would be right down Switch 2's alley if they announced college football
Yeah.
launch game for Switch 2. People would lose their shit.
Pretty wild that it seems like EA had to make a bit of a generational decision about the Switch, like at the
Yeah.
start. Like, this is
Yeah.
how we're going to approach this thing. And I don't know that I've ever really heard it described in that way, but I guess the assumption would be that's generally how publishers and developers approach any console. Like, you kind of make a decision over the next 5 or 6 years at the
I
onset.
think the console makers usually pay them. I think that's maybe the what's
You
missing
think so?
in translation. Yes, usually the console makers would be like, "Hey, we really value Call of Duty. We want to make sure it's there at the start. So here's $500,000 to help your development. Like,
yeah.
get it over here or something like that."
Yeah.
EA was really there for the Wii U, and that failed colossally. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to see them kind of skip the Switch at start.
Yeah.
They have brought a lot of. I honestly think it's a development thing. Like a lot of their newer projects, like I think their big Frostbite games, didn't really make it over.
Yeah. Not
And
scalable.
and
They've
their
moved
FIFA
on.
game is still running off of like last gen tech. So they've basically just been updating rosters and releasing
Yeah.
it on Switch.
Man,
So
while they're at it though, like, because it's not Frostbite, because it's a
'cause they got like what Apex Legends got going on Switch.
yeah. Well, I
Like,
mean that's
haphazardly.
because who the hell are they?
Respawn.
Titanfall, Respawn. Thank you.
Yeah.
They do whatever they want. They don't do whatever EA wants them to do.
And
They're
I don't know
kind
if
of
they're
like,
if what they're using is Frostbite or not. I know
I don't think so.
Battlefield and a lot of their sports games are using Frostbite. I don't think Madden does, but to be honest with you, I don't really keep up with EA's internal development much.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
There's
They-
something
I-
about that older engine though for FIFA that is endearing to me. I'm like, I kind of want that. Maybe I don't want the latest.
I think it's a good match. Like it works just fine
Yeah.
for the Switch. Like it looks good.
Mhm.
I've played it on trial. I'm not that into FIFA, but I've taken it for a spin because I was interested. I've
Yeah.
always wondered why, when the Switch really took off, why they didn't just put an old version of Madden on it. Like,
Yeah.
just get one up and update the rosters and get it out.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
That's what I
And,
mean. Like, it just seems like
I
they
don't
made
know
that
why.
call at the start and they never went back. Like, that
Yeah.
was it.
And Andrew Wilson said one time, it's always been buried deep into my brain. He was like, "Yeah, we missed the Switch, and we don't want to do that again." So that's why every time we get talking about Switch 2 stuff, I always kind of bring up EA because in the back of my mind, I have this idea that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Like I think they're going to be there, and it's probably Madden. That's probably the thing. But like I want it to be college football.
Yeah.
Because I think college football. I don't know. I think they'll both sell, but there is just a more passion right now for college football because it's been
Yeah.
gone so long that if they made a portable version, 5 million people would rebuy it. They would happily rebuy it. Like they would buy it again. They would double dip.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to will that into existence.
I mean, this is one of those games. I just hope that it explodes. Like, I really hope any game explodes, of course, but I really just hope that this one, because there's been such a long wait for it, that the people who have been waiting actually show up and buy
Well,
this thing. Hopefully
there
they
was,
know
like-
it exists.
I think last night I saw on Threads there was like 850,000 people online.
Really?
It's console exclusive to
In
just
the
the
early
PS5
access?
and the Series
Wow.
X in early
Oh, good.
access. There was
Yeah.
850,000
Okay,
people
good
on.
sign. Yeah.
So yeah, and we had a Rude Days segment on PSVG on would it outsell Madden, and I said no, just because I think Madden is kind of like that.
I think that was safe.
Stalwart.
Yeah. Mhm.
I maybe like it may I may have we'll see. I still don't think I
Mm.
am, but we'll see. Like it looks like people are very much turning out. Like
Yeah.
people
Good.
the enthusiasm, and maybe it's just my algorithm, but when I log on to see thing, like I am seeing it from it's all over my TikTok. My wife is seeing it. She's like, "What is going on?" Like
Oh.
big. Yeah, it's very, very big. College football fans are showing up in droves for this game.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Me too.
Yes. I can't wait to hear what Delvin Cox thinks of it.
Yeah. Even Dev last night in DMs was like, I'm starting to see the FOMO. I might need to.
Okay.
Dev was like, I might need to get
Wait,
EA
Dev
Play for
said
a month.
that?
Yeah. Dev was like, I
He
may need to
literally
check
said,
this out.
I don't care about college sports. He tried to
and
pull off like, I don't watch
doesn't.
sports.
He doesn't, but it's the hype. The hype is getting to people.
This is the stuff that doesn't make it onto the podcast, though.
Eat the hype.
This is all the behind the scenes.
When it's FOMO, right? When all of your friends are saying it, when your Discord is saying it, when you log online and it's there.
Usually,
it's like,
not for Dev though. Dev kind of has that like opposite reaction to FOMO.
Yeah, he's contrarian.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said it.
We'll see. That's his role. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah. Oh, I love that guy. Gosh. So when are you starting your channel?
I'm not. No. There'll be no more starting channels.
This is the end.
Yeah.
No more new things.
Very much so.
Well, you could just go back to the old, I guess.
Yeah.
Just do Shaq with Lacey, and that's it.
That might be how I close it down. Who knows? We'll see.
That'd be funny. Just kind of expand and then contract back to well,
I wanted
PSVG is
to
really
come
the
back,
start.
but I don't think he wants to do a weekly show. So now he's just kind of like a guest spot when and where he can.
Yeah,
which I think is
he's gotten nice and used to not having to do it every week.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
Like, you can live without this. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely in the space where I'm like, I don't know what I would do. I think I would rot. I don't think I would be the same without doing any of this stuff, even though it is a lot.
I would feel less social.
It's exactly what I'm thinking.
Are my best friends.
Yeah.
So I think I'd feel very lonely.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I'd like to think I could just live on my own and not have to deal with or interact with anybody. That sounds great, but at the same time, like it would be kind of lonely. And as I interact,
live alone. I would be lonely. It would just be me and my wife.
Sure,
that's the thing. I would have no other social outlet because it's not like I'm not gonna like go to a bar or go hang out. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So like this would be it. I would just be in my basement.
Well, as the kids get a little bit older and friendships with kids at school and stuff start to happen and parent groups start to form, I realize more and more just how little I want to engage with any of those people, like at all.
Me. That's
right. Like at all. Like this is what we got. This is like the people.
Yeah.
So mean.
I'm with you. I'm not
live on the internet. I'm like
that's me.
I'm like, I'm pretty
selective.
Don't you want
to come be like the band dads and cook? It's like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? People want to do that?
Well, even just like, what are you even all talking about? Like what? Like it's just I don't know, man. Like it's a curse of being friends with fellow podcasters because I think there's an inherent like level of being interesting that you have because you are a podcaster. You know what I mean? Like I engage in conversation with other people. Like this is what we're talking about. Like I think
I was going to say I think we get selfish because we only talk to people about things we want to talk about.
100, totally.
So it's like when you meet people that talk about things you don't care about, you're like,
I don't care about this at all. And I not only do I not care about it, I'm hyper aware and thinking about like, do you care about this? Like, do you or are you just? So I'm just totally meta and overthinking, overanalyzing conversations as they happen. I'm like, man, do I need more friends? Do I need
my wife is like, let's go to my boss's house and he's having a pool party this weekend with all the lawyers. And I'm like,
oh my God. Miserable. Yeah. I'll have a cold shower. Thank you very much.
I don't do that. That's the thing is I just selfishly like excuse myself from life. I'm like, I'm just not going to go.
I know. I wonder. Kelsey is she has a good perspective on this and just that like could that impact the kids' friendships in terms of like if we're not friends
made a joke once. She's like, none of my friends know who you are.
Yeah.
They've never seen you. I'm like,
that's
okay. Is by design. The plan is working.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's good to ask you about it then because it's like, I mean, that sounds good to me.
It hasn't bothered me. I don't think it's bothered her.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to talk to any of those people. I like my neighbors. I'm like, no thank. Like I see you. Thank you for not burning down your house, I guess, or whatever bad neighbors do. I don't know. Like I just want to like acknowledge. I appreciate that you are a perfectly normal person, and I have no problems with you. That's great.
That's
Moving
nice. You live
on.
in a nice neighborhood. My neighbors are not that nice.
Now, we used to have neighbors
and
across
I'm
the
like, you
street.
stay the fuck over there and I'll stay over here.
A while ago, we had neighbors across the street that had either police or ambulance show up every weekend.
I have those people across the street. I'm like, y'all stay the fuck over there. Don't come over here fucking my life up too.
Just get those signs. Get off my lawn. Like that's really what the show's about.
100%.
Yeah. Dreaming about the good old days of Dreamcast and early 2000 Madden football games and everything. What is that? Are you pulling Bert, what's his face, and Tom Segura? You got like red Kool-Aid over there. What are you drinking over there? Tell me it's Kool-Aid. Oh, I was kind of hoping it was Kool-Aid.
No, sorry.
It's a 64 ounce of Kool-Aid.
No, it was just sparkling water with a little strawberry Crystal Light in it.
Crystal Light, nice, man.
I'm out of rum, so I couldn't make a drink tonight. I'm
Mm.
gonna have to go out tomorrow in my new car, Sean.
Oh, let's do it. Volkswagen.
Oh, Volkswagen.
Volkswagen Jetta, yes, man.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if we'll have time to do this on PSVG tomorrow, so allow me to look up
This is a pretty short show, so you never really can squeeze everything in there.
Very true. That's funny as hell. Where the hell? Okay.
I don't know if we'll have time on our 3.5 hour podcast to talk about this, but just in case.
So I bought a car.
Yes.
I bought a Volkswagen Jetta.
Yes.
2017.
Yes, sir.
Turbo.
Okay. TDI or turbo gas engine?
Turbo gas engine.
Nice. That's what I had. I had a 1.8T back in the day.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty sweet.
It does. Pretty zippy.
Yeah.
Fun. I have an interesting story to tell about purchasing the vehicle if you care to hear about it.
I always do. Yes, of course. Of course you do. You would not have a boring. I walked over, saw the car, handed over the cash.
When this was happening, I was like, of course this is happening. 100%. But Chalfie wanted me to ask. He asked me, would you mind sharing some tips on how you do research when buying a car and your buying process on your podcast? I'm getting close to getting my son a car, but I'm not good at negotiating stuff like this.
Okay.
And I thought that's a pretty good thing to talk about. So I'll save this for a podcast and we'll do it here and I'll just link it to him.
Yeah.
There's my wife. She's my wife. She likes to call it her Jetta.
Yes, I see this. I love my new Jetta. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hers. I knew she would fall in love with it because it's blue. It's got like this, I forget what it's called. It's like seafoam blue or whatever.
The blue, it's a beautiful blue. Seafoam is gonna make people think teal. It's not teal, I don't think. It's
I remembered what it was. I bought touch-up paint, but I don't recall what it was. But
yeah.
Anyway, we've been looking for another car I've been looking for another car, thinking about getting another car for a couple months. Really kicked into the gear the last couple of weeks because my wife's car, she drives a Prius hybrid, battery went kaput. We had to replace the whole new battery. Right? Actually, not that big. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, really?
It used to be. Used to be that was like you might as well just get a whole new car.
Yeah.
We literally had a guy come to the house and replace all the cells in the battery for $1,400. Not that bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
But while she was out, I bought my daughter this old Sable, this old Mercury.
Yeah.
And I put it in the shop to have it all looked up because she's about to get her license. So this is the first time in a couple years where we didn't have the backup vehicle. My wife's vehicle goes down the exact same time the backup vehicle's on. So she's like Ubering back and forth to work, hitching rides. I'm picking her up. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Me and my wife do not like automotive issues.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with it. So we've kind of always had what we call the backup car for a long time. And it's usually been my car. So I have a work vehicle and then I have my car and then she has her car. So my car is the backup vehicle.
Okay.
So if anything happens to her car, she can take the backup vehicle. I fix the one. It's just convenient. It's stress-free and it's convenient. But I got rid of my car to buy a bunch of old cars that broke down and one, which I haven't even driven in years. So it's been a disaster, right? So as I've been financially recovering from all of that, I've been thinking about buying another vehicle. All of this happened with her car. So I was like, okay, now's the time. We really need to get another vehicle. So my goal was I have my muscle car. I have my Roadrunner. I've got my super fun, loud car. I wanted a good driving car. Something I could drive around town, take on trips, road trips, zippy. I wanted the turbo. That was a specific thing for me as I really started to hone in on Volkswagens. And I looked at a bunch of different things. I test drove a bunch of different things. I test drove like 4 Jettas. No, a Golf and 3 Jettas.
Oh yeah.
I wanted the Golf. That was like target number one.
Hatch?
I always
Yeah.
wanted a hatch. I love
Yeah.
hatchbacks.
So do
always
I.
have.
Yeah.
So like I was looking, I looked at the Veloster. I
Hyundai?
looked at the Focus, the Fiesta, like just all the hatches that you would think of. The Civic.
Yep.
My wife hates hatchbacks. When I showed it to her,
come on! Oh,
when I
they're
showed it to
great.
her, she was like, "You're an adult. You're a grown man. You have kids." She's like, "Stop living in the past."
Come on, man. We had a Matrix for years. We love that thing, dude.
She hates
Oh, no way.
which, it is my car, but again, it is the backup cars, right? So I take her opinion to account. So we went and looked at we went to the Volkswagen dealer, and I did not want an Impreza. Everything I've ever heard is that Subarus just all kind of explode always.
Yeah, that's what I haven't.
Yeah.
I always wanted a Super Impreza, a WRX, all-wheel drive, that classic blue. And then I heard it wasn't maybe they're a little overpriced. Maybe they're not.
I'll take
that
a
reliable.
tangent. I'll come back to a tangent on the Subaru. That's interesting. Is the Prius a hatch?
Prius is a hatch.
I guess it is. Yeah, it is a hatch.
Yeah,
but it's not.
So is my Scion.
Hatch.
Technically, is a hatch,
Yeah,
but not in the way
hatch.
that. Yeah, not the flat back like.
Yeah, in the
like Protege 5. Yeah.
So
that's
we go to the Volkswagen dealer, and I'm test driving this Golf, and my wife hated it when we pulled up. She hated it when we sat down in it. She kind of loved it.
Yeah,
she was like, "This is nice," and it was nice. It was a little more than I was looking to spend, which brings me to point number 1, Sean. Buying used cars right now fucking sucks. At least here in Atlanta.
Totally. No, it sucks here too.
Gracious,
it's awful.
What happened? The last time I bought a used car, if you had $5,000-$7,000, you get a good car with, a decent amount of miles on it, but not anything like that. If you want anything decent under 100,000 miles, you better be prepared to spend 10 grand right now.
Yep. Oh,
in Atlanta.
At least and like compared to a brand new car, like it's not saving you any dollars. Really, the whole like you drive it off a lot and it loses like $20,000 value. Like, no, it doesn't. Like people are. What's this?
Hambone Johnny says, "Yeah, the transmission blew at 60,000."
Oh, there you go. There it is. On the Impreza.
And I'm going to put a pin in this, Hambone. Remind me to come back to the Subaru because
I got a hatchback too recently, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. Paul, Paul, I'm not sure if you missed it. The Roadrunner is going absolutely nowhere for 100%. I will die in that car. That car's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So this is a compliment to that car because the Roadrunner is a seasonal car. I can't drive it in this heat. It's 100 degrees outside.
Can't drive it in the heat. That's so funny. People get nice cars here and they can't drive it in the winter.
In the cold.
Like you get if we had a Roadrunner here, we'd be like 100%. Absolutely take it out in the summer. Yeah.
You'd
garage it in the winter. That's so funny.
Insanely hot down here. It's miserable to be driving like that.
The tires just melt off the thing.
We test drive the Golf. I really like the Golf, but the Golf is like not as advertised. I get there. There's a dent. There's a scratch. The headliner's kind of falling out. The guy's like, you can't really drive it. Like we're working on an engine problem with it. Right? I'm like, what the fuck? The mileage is $25,000 or 25,000 miles more than.
Oh, come on, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't really like this. So we talking to them. And they go, we've got this Jetta.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, I'm gonna show my wife the Jetta, and that's what she's gonna want. Like, I'm trying to stop, And they're like, so we've got this Jetta, and I go, is it turboed? And they go, oh yeah. And Sean, you're gonna laugh. This is what they look at me and they go, just so you know, every Volkswagen's turboed. I was like, that's not true.
That isn't true at all.
I was like, what are you talking about? This is the dealer.
They have the 6-cylinder Jettas. They aren't turbo.
The official dealer.
Dude, I would have left. I would have left.
So I leave and I come home and I pull up the car because I didn't see the Jetta they were offering me. I pull it up and I look at it. I'm like, it's not turboed at all. This is a 4-cylinder non-turbo Jetta.
Yeah.
So, but I'm grasping at straws as to what to buy, like in my price range, because like the options are shit. Like I'm not finding much of anything around town. It's like if I wanted to drive to like the next state over, so if I wanted to head out like 100 miles and get to Nashville or Birmingham or Raleigh, there's lots of cars. But in Atlanta, it's like I'm paying $5,000 or $6,000 more for any car because it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
My theory is a couple fold. One, with the rise of like turn your car into income with like DoorDash and Turo and all that, I think people are holding on to cars longer than they ever have.
Yep.
Two, with the rise of inflation and rent prices, they're also holding on to their cars, not buying new ones. So I think at least, and maybe in my market, everything has just been driven into the ground. I'm
Well,
talking
it came from the new car market, which supply is so low because these chips they
Probably.
can't make new cars. So people go, I guess I'll buy a used car, and so everybody's buying up the used cars. So I think all those factors are in there. And yeah, whatever the reason, you're stuck in this godforsaken worst ever
if
market
you want
for
to buy
buying
an
a car.
$8,000 car, be prepared to have one that has like 170,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
You know, it's probably been driven to shit.
yeah,
So I keep looking around and I tell my wife, after I do my research, I tell my wife, I'm like, we're not going to go back there. She's like, well, I was like, the guy that we work with, he just doesn't know anything about what he's talking about. Like,
yeah.
I should not know more than the dealership guy.
Agreed.
I consider myself a car enthusiast, but I wouldn't call myself a car guy. I would never tell anybody that I know more about them about cars, but like I know more than that guy. And
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a car from somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
So back on the hunt I go. I'm looking around. I went and test drove another Jetta at a dealer that I did like.
Yeah.
And I would have bought that one on site. The price was right, but it had a nasty dent in it. And I was like, hey,
Yeah.
can you have somebody come fix this? And they're like, no, we're not going to do
Yeah.
that. And I was
It
like,
is
well,
what it is.
then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So anyway, I find this do you guys have Auto Trader in Canada?
Yep.
So I find this
Yeah.
car on Auto Trader.
Mm-hmm.
Green Jetta 2017, newer than I was even looking at. I was looking at a lot of 13s and 14s, you know, trying to save money.
Yeah.
Because again, this is a backup car.
Mm-hmm.
Mileage is low, 60,000 miles. I'm like, okay, price is right-ish.
Yeah.
They wanted 12.5. I offered 10.
Yeah.
And they were like, come test drive it. So I go to test drive it. Here's the funny story. Pull into the lot of where it's at. It's at this guy's restaurant. His name's Sam. Sam has a restaurant built around a plane. There's a plane that they've built a restaurant around, like the nose of the plane, the wings,
What?
like a plane, like a real plane.
Okay.
Right? Just on the side of the street. It's about an hour from my house.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
We get in there and he goes, all right. He goes, I don't mean to give you guys the sob story. He goes, the reason I'm selling the car, he's like, I'm selling this car for an employee of mine that works here. He's got cancer. He can't drive the car anymore. And his wife, who he bought the car for, she also works for him. And her name is Jetta. His wife, Jetta, bought a Jetta. He bought his wife, Jetta, a Jetta. And it was her car. And she comes up to us after we take our test drive. She's like, did you guys like the car? And we're like, yeah, we like the car. We'd like to buy it. And she just like burst into tears. And she's like so happy that we're looking to buy the car. And like they said, it's a restaurant. So we sit down, we get a little snack to eat. And the weird thing is they wanted to sell it through a program called the Auto Trader Seller Exchange.
Okay.
Have you
I don't
ever
know what
heard of
that
this?
is. No.
So the way this works is it's all done through like an app. It's like Carvana, right? I pay Auto Trader. The seller gives the title to Auto Trader, and Auto Trader facilitates.
Yeah.
So they don't get the money until everything is released, and then they also take care of all the registration. So I don't have to go to the courthouse.
That's kind of
nice. It all, and they send it to you. So he comes to me. We negotiate. I honestly felt bad for negotiating, and that's the point to because I got the sob story. I was like, oh, this kind of sucks, but I was like, hey, it is what it is. Here's what I have to spend.
It is what it is. That's
the difference.
Tough.
So my answer to you, Chalfie, is if you're going to dealers, a lot of times they're just going to stonewall you because a lot of them do price competitively, and they're just not going to, unless they just have to get rid of it. They're just not going to negotiate because if you don't buy it, somebody else will.
Yeah.
The other thing is have cash. I was buying with cash, and when you have cash, you have purchasing power. And I told my wife that, like I said, I walked away from 6 or 7 cars because it just wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
One of the Jettas was the 2-cylinder, no turbo.
Yeah.
And I was like, and by all accounts,
2-cylinder.
4-cylinder. It's the 2.0.
Go-kart over
4-cylinder, 2-liter.
Yes.
Yeah, no turbo. And I was like, it's really slow, super dependable engine. Would have been fine, but like, it's not what I want. Like, I wanted something.
Do you have to get a premium with your turbo engine? I always had to do a premium with my 1.8.
I don't know. I should ask somebody. I don't know. I don't know if I should.
I don't know.
Probably.
It's not like
maybe.
it's not a Volvo or anything crazy like that. Not
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
but check it out.
But anyway, yeah, I talk down. We do all this, and
Yeah.
there's been the thing. So it's a Saturday. We're sitting there. We're trying to figure this out. I send the money. Auto Trader's not answering the phone. I don't have any more buttons to press in the app. He can't figure it out. We're there for about an hour. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. He
Yeah.
goes, all right. He goes, I can tell you're good people. He's like, you and your wife seem nice. You're honest. I was like, here's a copy of my driver's license. He's like, here, just take the car. And he's like, and we'll figure this out on Monday. So he gives me the keys. I take the car home. Mind you, no insurance, not registered. I'm terrified driving this car home. I'm like, oh my God.
Goodness gracious.
My nerves are like shot to steel right
Yeah,
now.
like it's enough to give you the car. That's very sweet, but like you can't insure it, you can't register it, like because you don't own it. You have no
Correct.
title to this car.
Correct.
Okay.
So I drive the car home, put it in the driveway, and every day since has been back and forth phone calls trying to, and ultimately, long story short, what I figured out is they still owed money on the car. So that's the reason that people sell this on the thing is that the Auto Trader in their facilitation, they'll pay off the other loan and they'll transfer the fund. They'll do all of that.
Yeah.
So, long story short, it should all be resolved tomorrow. They're paying off the quote today. I was told they'll have all the registration tomorrow. I'll have my new car tomorrow. But yeah, that was the story. It was an adventure.
Of course, something's
just
happening.
buying the car.
Yeah, I mean the other thing too that like to Chelfie's question, like you seem fairly certain on the car that you wanted. Eventually, you got there. You eventually landed. You wanted a Volkswagen. You started liking those, and then you knew the market. Like it's not like you show up at that and offer half price because that's what people do when they haggle and negotiate. They just like take the price cut in half and see where you can go from there. Like you did it respectfully. You knew what that car was worth and what you wanted to pay, and you were obviously willing to do the homework and then go checking out multiple vehicles. So you ended up with something that you wanted to. But I think people are looking for like a shortcut when it comes to like if I say this and then I negotiate like this, it's like I don't know if there's any hack like that. It does take a little bit of work. Yeah.
The only trick I do think the only trick that really works is when you walk up and go, because I even told him, I was like, are you sure you just don't want me to go to the bank and get you cash?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I really want to sell it this way. And it wasn't until afterwards I found out why. I was like, oh, okay. Now this maybe makes a little bit more sense. I did find out that when they bought this car, they paid like 39 grand for it.
Wow.
They have all the papers. So I was like, wow, that's a lot. But yeah, cash, that'd be my best thing. If you've got cash, then you have some buying ability. It's not a get out of jail free card. Doesn't mean you get your way. But if you want to have any chance at being able to negotiate a little, just tell them like, hey, I've got cash, and what would you think if I offered you this much?
Would you hand over like whatever it is, $8,000 in cash?
Not unless I was being handed the title.
Yeah. That's what I think to me, that scares me a little bit. Like having cash, like I would do like certified check. I've bought a car with a certified check. I go to the bank.
The Ventura cash.
Yeah. With like a bag, like a bag of cash, like a suitcase.
Wow. I actually sent the envelope. I sent a picture of the envelope to Devin. Like I had a stack of cash like this thick that day.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's tough to be discreet.
And you know the funny thing? Not only I gave the man cash and left without the car. I came back the next day to get it.
Oh my God, my heart is beating here, man. Oh my gosh.
He was a good guy, and
that's nice.
Yeah, so like I wasn't too worried about it. But when I came home, my wife was like, "You did what?"
No kidding.
I was like, "It'll be fine. Don't worry about it." And it was.
I worry about selling like Amiibo in Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, man, I hope I don't get screwed over on this $50 or whatever it is. Like, oh my gosh.
That was Sam. Sam was like, "You're fine. Take the car. We'll figure this out on Monday." He's like, "I don't want to mess with it, and you guys got to go."
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wasn't leaving. I was like, "Whoa, I'm not leaving. I just sent you this money. I know you don't have it, but I just sent this money into the internet. I'm not leaving without something. Like you're at least giving me the key."
Yeah, totally.
The car's not moving unless I'm moving it.
Oh, that's so funny. I sold a phone a couple of months ago as I bought a cheaper one, and now I don't have it part of my plan and everything. But anyway, I sold my phone, and this guy was just like, he was sketching me out, dude. I had to meet him at like this terrifying place, and all these people are walking around. I was just really sketched out by this. What's that?
Red flags.
red flags all over the
yeah,
place.
abort.
Again, the end of the story is everything was fine, but like, and I ended up actually being the jerk, of course. And so like his phone isn't connecting to the internet. He's like, can I use your phone? I'm like, absolutely not. You're not using my phone to like log into like a banking thing. Like no chance. And he's like, okay, well, gotta get my friend over here so I can use his phone. Like your phone, like I'm looking at your phone. It's working. Like, what is the issue here? And so we sit there and like he's trying to get the money transferred over, like email money transfer and stuff. And it's not working. And he calls his buddy over. So he goes into that car and he's in there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, this sucks, man. Like, I am out of here. I can't believe I'm sitting here waiting for this. And I get in my car. I'm about to drive away. And he's like, wait. We're almost there. I'm like, what could possibly be taking this long? And finally, he, just as I'm about to leave, and again, like 5 or 10 minutes later, he comes to the car and he's like, look, I sent it. Like, I've sent it. And I'm looking at my inbox and nothing is showing up. And a minute goes by, 3-5 minutes go to another bunch of time goes by. I'm like, dude, I'm out of here, man. Like, I don't know what you've done, but like, I don't have the money. And so I'm just going to leave. And so I leave with the phone he's trying to buy for me. And I'm maybe 4 blocks down the road and the money comes through. Yeah, totally. And so, so I cash it. I absolutely take the money. I accept the money transfer. And I message him back and say, look, it just came back, but I really did have somewhere to be. I'm sure I was racing off to a podcast. Actually, I think I had to do the Nintendo Drive that night. Wow. I'll meet you tomorrow. And so he had to trust me that I would not just take his money and not sell him give him the phone. But he trusted me, and I came through. I'm not an absolute degenerate. It was like $500 or something like that.
Wow, yeah.
But Kijiji. Yeah. So he said Kijiji. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Kijiji or Marketplace, but I probably had it on both of them. But yeah, it was, he wasted my time. Nothing bothers me more than that. I was with you. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I'm out of here. What's taking so long?
Yeah. I've bought and sold a lot of things online, on eBay, on Craigslist. And when I get in situations like that, I bail. I'm like, nope, it's not
totally. Mm-hmm. Just getting the heebie-jeebies. Somebody else will buy it.
Once it starts feeling I'm out real quick.
And like looking back on it, I probably did even hang around longer than I should have, given just all the sketchiness, all the red flags. Not good. But in the end, I probably did look like the jerk to him.
Yeah, took his money like I would have followed you home. 100%. Like,
well, at that time, I didn't have the money. Like, that was the thing. It was like,
I know.
Like, it didn't seem like, when I left, happening. I absolutely, just to be crystal clear for people listening, I didn't have the money when I left. I was not intending on that to happen. But then the email money transfer came through, and yes, I did hit accept.
But I did not know that you had a Jetta.
I had a Jetta way back when. It was a friend of mine, a friend of my dad's actually. He got a new job, and they gave him a company vehicle. So he's like, I'll get rid of this car. It was I think it was a 2004, if I remember correctly. 2004, maybe.
What are we thinking? There was like a Mark IV.
It was like I said, 1.8T 4-door, just sedan, just a plain Jane kind of car. 5-speed manual. I guess that's probably the most interesting part about it.
Nice.
Threw a couple subwoofers in the back at one point. Yeah, just try to relive that one last time. And yeah, it was that car will be the last Volkswagen I ever buy. I'm happy for you, but like I had mechanically perfect car. Totally brakes you replace whenever the brakes needed done, but like transmission was fine.
I've heard a little bit of both. I've heard on both sides. I've heard people say like this car will absolutely last 600,000 miles if you service it correctly.
You just service it.
People are like, you will have nothing but endless nightmares with the car forever.
My troubles were like electrical and like the features and stuff, like the features like windows. Like my window fell off the track. I was at a drive-through, hit the down on the window, and it just like slid into the door and crashed. Like it went permanently down. And yeah, that was such a, I don't know what went wrong there, because the guy who was fixing it,
their Jetta was a lemon.
Oh man, my dad lives and dies by. My dad still drives a Jetta. He drives a hatchback. Is a TDI Jetta hatchback, 2006 diesel, and you hear those things come, like you hear them on the street. You're like, yeah, that's a car.
That's what brought me to it. I mean, it's a lot of times, it's funny to say, but a lot of times people say that like Jettas are they're driving cars for driving people, and I was like, I want something that's fun to drive.
Yeah.
I also have
Solid car.
the only thing that I've ever come to, the only thing that I believe when it comes to buying cars, because I was fretting this whole process, because nobody wants to buy a car that's going to screw you down the road, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've ever come to like 100% believe, and the only advice I give to people buying a car is this: don't buy a car that you don't want to fix.
Right. Yeah. My dad used to always
It's
tell
as
me, like,
simple as that.
put aside X number of dollars to fix basically right out of the gate.
That's good.
And you kind of
Well,
work
like,
that into your
if you
negotiation,
buy
your
a
total purchase
car
price.
because you have to have it, or it's the good buy, but you don't really like it, you're not into it, then when it breaks, you're going to stress and you're going to hate that car.
Yes.
You know, it's going to be like resentment. I've been there. I've been exactly there, and I've done exactly that. So now I really live by I don't want to buy anything that I don't want to fix.
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to be my car, then I want to fix it. Like, if it breaks, I want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what led me down that path to finding that one. And like I said, we're looking to take a little vacation here soon and get out on the road. And, you know, I wanted something a little newer, you know, more modern.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Congratulations, dude. Yeah, there's a list of we bought a used car a couple years ago, and by the time we got it home, I'm like, man, I didn't even check for this. I didn't even check for like whatever it was, and it was
Sure.
for me it was like headlamps, like just the headlights. Running lamps or headlights worked fine. Running lamps, no. One of them is out. Like just stuff like that. You know, just simple.
Yeah, just
simple
make sure
things.
all the things work.
Yeah, just a regular, like when you get your oil change, like what do they check? Like do that.
Yeah, she didn't they did not take as good a care of this car as I would take care of. But like, I'm somewhat anal about my cars.
Yeah.
But like, in getting it home, first thing, wash, wax it, treat it, you know, do all the windows. But like, just get like, it's got like a dent on the side door. It's like toward the rocker. It's kind of hardly even noticeable. There's a nasty little scrape on the back fender that I got to touch up this weekend.
Yeah.
But for 17, it hasn't been driven very long. You know, it shifts great. It is one of those, it's not automatic, but it's got the sport mode and the manual mode and the paddles and stuff like that. So I was like, this is super cool.
Nice, man. I like the feel of the steering wheel on the Jettas. Like it feels, it really does feel good to drive. Like from the seat you sit in to the wheel you hold on to, like to the doors closing. Like it's a solid car, man. Definitely. I love it. Check the gas. Check what gas you need on it though, because back in the day they needed premium.
It might be different now. Paul writes, he was talking about the Subaru, right? So I'm a big fan of the Donut Channel, which, by the way, is going through all kinds of hell for anybody out there that follows it. But I'm a big fan of Donut, and they have a series that they've done multiple times called High and Low. And I 100% recommend to anybody that was listening to this car talk and enjoying it to go watch the High Low series of the Subarus. So do you know what this channel is? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Only from Forza, actually. Yeah.
All right. So High Low is a series. It's like, think of it like a TV show. There's like 7 20-minute episode YouTube videos where they buy two identical cars and they soup one up. What the hell was that? Testing. What did you do, Sean?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. And now I can't hear me. Yeah,
I have to pick a different setting.
I was hearing me like coming back through you. Am I clear to talk?
How about now?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Got it. Okay. I couldn't hear you. We had a nice notification that said all your audio settings have been reset.
Wow.
Thanks.
Weird. Okay. So they buy two identical cars. They soup one up with the most expensive high performance parts you can find. And they fix the other one up with like the Temu Wish cheapest alternative of those. And then they race them to show the difference, like to tell you, like, is there a difference? Do you gain anything by spending more money on this part?
Yeah.
And they do it for all kinds of parts. So they'll do like turbos, and then they'll do like seats and racing wheels and tires and brakes, and every episode is a new part. And they show how they bought it and all that. All right. So they did a season. There's like 3 or 4 seasons of this. the last season they did was the WRX, the Subaru.
Yeah.
And it is the worst infomercial to buy a Subaru you've ever seen. Because by the end, they had to buy like 5 cars to finish the series because every one of them kept exploding. Like they'd just replace a new one and it'd blow its engine. They'd swap engine, it'd blow, and then they get
the engines are exploding. What the heck?
Kept happening over and over. By the end, it became a comedy of errors. It was hilarious. It was so much fun to watch this journey as it went.
Definitely got to check those out. They were a blast. Those extra missions you got on Forza, they did. That was
yes,
that was pretty sweet. But yeah, definitely.
There's a donut section in Motorfest too.
Oh, okay, nice.
But you've got to.
Oh, good for
everybody. The crew Motorfest is excellent.
Yeah,
it's
I never jumped into
very
it.
Good. If you like Horizon, it is the next best alternative by far.
Funny because I jumped into Horizon recently and I'm like, I really love this game. Do I still need to play it? And then when I jump into something else, I'm like, why aren't I not playing Forza? Like, that's such a stupid place to be in. And maybe I just need a new Horizon game to come out. But I'm sure I could enjoy little Motorfest. Like, why not?
I jumped into Motorfest last week for the DLC.
Yeah.
And had a ball, and I got to get back in there and finish it and play more. But NCAA came out.
Yeah.
So
well, then you're
doing that for a little bit. But
then you're
I
good.
bought Gran Turismo and have yet to play it because every time I want to play a car game, I just kind of keep playing Motorfest.
I was pretty bored by Turismo.
Gran
Turismo. Yeah.
I was pretty bored by Motorsport.
Yeah. And the same argument could be made there as well. Like, definitely lack of really any personality at all.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, this just isn't all that fun.
Yeah. I can understand it. Maybe I'm just an X-bot.
No, I may have that same opinion when I play Turismo. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I bought it. It was on sale and I bought it. I spent $25 on Gran Turismo.
I bought it too.
I have yet to even see the start screen. I have yet to even turn it on.
Oh, I should be clear. It actually came with my PlayStation 5. So
when I get in the mood to car, I'm like, yeah, I could play Turismo, and then I'm like, but I already have Motorfest. Like, I just keep playing Motorfest.
And do you play it in a way of like, I'm sure we chatted about this before. When I play those games, I play with cars that I wish I owned. Like that's the escapism that they tend
cars
to do.
That I do like, cars that I don't, but mostly,
like even more than like the car's good in the game. Like I'll take a car that doesn't perform well in the game just because I want to drive it because I think that's good. Like Mustangs drive like ass in those games.
Yeah, I don't like Mustangs to begin with.
Well, I know that.
Girl's car.
Damn.
My friends hate when I say that so much.
Girl's car. Always like 60s Mustangs.
Yeah,
like
my wife is a Mustang
in the 80s, like the 5.0 engines. Not good. No,
never liked them. I'm a Mopar guy.
Yeah.
Dodge, Plymouth, Roadrunners, Chargers, Challengers, Coronets.
No.
Demons, darts, like fucking real muscle.
Those, especially when they brought the dart back. Those darts are pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, the new ones.
They're awful. What are you doing, man?
You know what those are?
No,
those are rebadged Fiats.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that
the
tracks.
The Arrow
Eagle Talon. Hambone Johnny in the chat brings up an Eagle Talon. I wanted one of those so bad.
Yeah.
What do they make? Like 2 kinds of vehicles? Eagle, like was it the Talon and maybe one other car? Like I did test drive one of those though, and I couldn't see anything. Like I couldn't, like, out of any of the windows, I couldn't see anything around me. Is what I remember sitting one of those for.
That looks like a very Sean car.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, I ended up in a Mazda MX-6.
A Mazda.
A Mazda. Do you say Mazda?
Ooh, say Mazda. Yeah.
Mazda.
A Mazda.
I probably say.
You say Nissan or Nissan?
I wish I was cool enough to say Nissan. Like just like on Gran Turismo the movie.
Correct.
Oh, here at Nissan. Yeah. Talk to me more, Orlando Bloom.
I feel like an idiot over there. I'm like, oh, Nissan.
Oh, Nissan. Nissan. Yeah, no,
the Talon,
MX-6.
For whatever reason, I see Sean, like late 90s Sean, being very into like Supras and Eclipses.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Even the car I drive now.
You need a Miata.
No, absolutely no. For whatever reason, like that's too far. That's too much.
Yeah, but if you fix it up though.
No, my friend a friend of mine, he put a Mustang engine. He put a 5.0 Mustang engine in a Miata. He had to get a
A
hood
lot of
scoop from
people
a.
love souping up Miatas because
I
they're
know
so
the
light.
monster Miatas. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, yeah. It's a cool. That's a really
base.
cool like
It's a cool base to
subculture.
build on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting. Like just because you need a rear wheel drive engine to go in there, so you're kind of like self-selecting from there. Yon 32. I always wanted a
Evo?
Mitsubishi. I test drove a Lancer one time. A Lancer. I'll just over enunciate the A's and all of these. I didn't like the Lancer all that much. They were very cool. A lot of cool people had them, but I didn't like the Lancer as much. I like my Jetta.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think like what gen is a 2000 Jetta. Is that like the boxy?
Pretty boxy.
I thought the boxy Jetta was the like 90s. Is that early 2000s Jetta?
They're both pretty. Like you're definitely like it's boxier the further you go back. Like it's definitely not. But like, yeah, mid 2000s wasn't
boxy
smooth.
Jetta.
Yeah,
like the trunk box, the cabin box, the front box, like that boxy Jetta. I think like mid 90s, or is that? Or do I have the time?
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right for sure. Yeah, no, they started rounding out a little bit in the mid 2000s, but not like they're really slick now.
Yeah, because I felt like the modern Jetta, like the sorority girl Jetta, came around like 2010, right?
Yeah,
I have like the evolution of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I should go back. I'm sure I have it somewhere.
I think the modern Jetta, like the last two Jettas, remind me very much, like just from a look style, they're very BMW-ish.
Definitely. Yeah. Almost like they stretch them out a little bit.
Yeah. 100%.
Yon 32 said he had a 2001 Jetta. Mine might have been a 2001. I don't think it was later. My dad is a 2006. I don't think
Jesse's Jetta.
Yeah, dude, no, not quite that. That's a little more boxy.
That's what I think when I think the boxy Jetta is that.
Yeah, that white one was it? There was the white one in Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like the Taco Bell swoosh down the side.
Yeah. I just had a default gray, like silver paint job.
Jetta.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it was a 2001 1.8 T.
I tried to get my wife to get to let me get a wagon. She wasn't having it.
That's what my dad has. Yeah.
The wagon?
Yeah.
Fucking killer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
okay. So this just
5-speed.
Yeah. This just looks, this is just sedan the car. This is like Camry.
Totally. Yes. Yeah. Just as plain as it gets. Like just nothing really all that special. 1.8 T. I'm looking it up here as well.
What color was it?
It was gray. It was silver. Thank you.
Silver.
I've got nuggets.
You know, here's the funny thing. I'm looking at Google Images.
Yeah.
60% of the images on here are silver.
Totally. That's what I mean. Like
there's like one red one, one blue one, and 80 silver ones.
Totally. They were all over the road, especially back then. I'm sure they're still out there. But I like that car, man. I like the way the molded like door handles and everything, and it just it felt good. It was nice inside. I kept it very clean.
Of course,
it wasn't. It didn't.
I judge people by how well they keep their car clean.
Yeah, mine isn't nearly as good as it used to be. I want to be better about that, but
the judge of character.
I like the trunk in it was good. The way that it closes.
Like, the Jetta. I'm like, you're never driving this car.
Yeah, like, no, you gotta be careful about there's powdered makeup that ends up in here. Like
it's everywhere in her car, Sean. It's all over the Prius.
I know, dude.
It's like and I was like, the scene of the crime is everywhere. Anywhere your finger touch is covered in powder makeup.
Pre-powdered.
Why? Why is it everywhere?
Yeah.
He has eyeliner marks on the roof. I'm like, why? What happened that you got eyeliner on the top of the car?
Some sort of multitasking.
I don't think you know how to do eyeliner. How did this happen? I was in her car.
You're trying to line the eye. You missed.
Yeah, I was in the car driving her, pointing out all of these things. She was like, "Shut up."
Oh my gosh.
This is why you're not allowed nice things.
I'm glad you got your Volkswagen. Are there other like you have your Roadrunners, you've got your nice, like you got your muscle car kind of thing. Are there other non-muscly, non-dream cars, but like more on like the practical side? You're like, I'd like to test drive that. Maybe I'd drive that for a couple of years. Like,
well, when I first started this, I wanted a van, and my wife is she's just anti-van.
We just got a van.
Well, I love it. I love vans.
Yeah, so do I, dude. It's awesome.
It's a guilty pleasure. I'm happy to own it, but just know I love ugly vans.
Ooh,
I
I like
always
it.
I love the
Ugly
old, like the
vans.
80s vans, like the
Yeah.
heavy metal vans. I love them. I follow
Like
them on
vans,
TikTok.
like not minivans, like a
Vans, like go
van.
vanning.
Yeah,
I
dude.
love the Volkswagen and the Mitsubishi vans. I love
Yes,
the
yes.
vans with sunroofs and like
Mhm.
the seats that spin around. I
Totally.
think those shit, like vans with carpet, are the shit.
Oh, dude, yes. I need to dig up some pictures, some old pictures from my parents' house because we had a van as well. This like dark forest green van with like a white roof. Like that went like up. Like
Yeah.
people don't understand. Like not Sarathina NHS is a Econoline's like not quite. Like that's a like almost like a cargo vehicle kind of thing. Like not quite that, but almost. Like they were like little
There
mini
is a
motorhomes.
van. I'm gonna have to pull up my phone and find it. So just vamp for a minute.
Well, I mean, at the exact same time, I want to message my family and go like, "What you make year, make a model of van did we have?" Because like I have like these weird, like dreamlike memories of us being in the van, and I seem
I
to,
found it.
remember there being like a table inside. Like I remember us like playing
So,
cards or something.
sorry to interrupt you, but I found it.
But you're
So
not. I'm vamping. I'm
there
good.
was this van in a junkyard when I was in high school that I was infatuated with, that I wanted to buy and I never could. And I wanted to buy it now. I called it the Bullet Van. My wife absolutely hates this car. It was, and there's a bunch of them. It was a Chevy Lumina or a
Okay.
Pontiac Trans Sport. Put that into
Transport.
Pontiac Trans Sport. Put that into your Google machine.
Okay. Pontiac. Right. I like it. It wants to say Trans Am, of
It
course.
does.
Okay, yeah, this is a minivan. This is still counted as a
and I'm
minivan, but very
talking
like looks like a penis.
like early 90s, like 1990.
Oh yeah,
like
dude. Look at this. A
1989.
space machine, man.
Yeah, it's right, and it's got the glass that goes all the way
Yes.
down to like the bumper. I
Yeah.
fucking love this van. I was like, this van looks amazing. She's like, this is the ugliest car I've ever seen. I love it. I've always
But
loved
it
it.
does have like that like even the headlights, they look like a Trans Am. Like it's
Yeah.
trying to be so sporty.
Yeah.
Like so aerodynamic.
Not the minivan version. I see later models where it became minivan. When you see the one I'm talking about, you know. Like the squared glass early 90s version. Not when it just became another minivan. Like I love unique vans. And
oh my
that's
gosh.
originally what I wanted. She hates vans, so she
Okay, I was not expecting this, dude. Like this is ugly. I thought you were gonna talk to me about like wood panel on like a Plymouth Voyager or something like that.
I love those too,
which are great.
An old Dodge Ram van. Fuck yeah. I love the whole shag and wagon vans. The ones with ladders on the back. Like yes.
That's what we had.
Carpet. Like I want a van.
Absolutely had a ladder on.
I want the van that has like the bar in it. But like that you can put like your whiskey and shit. She's like, why do you
disco ball in there and everything?
Yeah, she's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna drive somewhere and drink.
Holy crap, dude! That was a thing people would buy and drive around.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
That is awesome. That just got me.
So I wanted to buy one of those. She was like, absolutely not. She's always wanted an SUV, and I don't like SUVs. My wife and I have very different taste in cars. She wants to fade into the background and blend in with the road and be like everything else. And like I want anything but that. You know, I don't want anything that just looks ordinary.
I've never endeavored to do either, to stand out or to blend in. That has never been part of my consideration.
I'm just describing our taste.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's just interesting that
cars. Like I like that van. I like my Roadrunner. You know, and she's like, I want a RAV4, and
that's what I want.
You know, like a Highland. Like yes, she just wants like generic soccer mom car, and I'm like, I don't ever want anything like that.
It's funny because that is what I want. I would love to trade in my car for a RAV. That was my favorite car I ever owned. But I financed it and it was like so expensive. I had to get rid of it at one point.
I think that's what happened to the people with the Jetta. I think they were over under on the Jetta.
Yeah, it was like kind of early in adult life, and I didn't have all the expenses that I have now. Like at one point, that car payment was like totally fine, super easy. Like the mortgage I had at the time was, I bought a house with a friend. We split it. We bought individually. We could have afforded that house, and we split it. So like living expenses were almost nothing, and no kids, like all that kind of stuff. Really good place in life, and then you buy a different place with them. It's basically when I met Chelsea, all my expenses went up. Donnie,
of course,
what happened.
Women, they kill you slowly.
Hambone Johnny says that transport looks like the car Homer Simpson designed. The Homer, yes,
It
that's
does.
exactly
That
like
van is the shit.
the glass
telling you.
domes. Yeah,
I love it.
the
I just got
Cucaracha
someone in chat.
horn.
Apparently, I missed. Yarden says he bought a Nissan Rogue.
It's a turbo 3-cylinder. I mean, it's Nissan. You got a Mazda. You got these weird engines. Mazda. You got the rotary engine over there. My buddy had
I looked at a Mazda 3 Touring.
They still make the. Oh yeah, Mazda 3. Yeah. I was thinking MX3. That's a MX3 is the Miata. MX6 was the car I had, which was basically the Ford Probe.
The Probe,
which is very weird, but yeah,
I have not
Ford
thought
Probe.
of those in a while.
Yeah, it's weird how those people don't realize like that they're like same cars. Like Pontiac and what was it, the Vibe and the Matrix at one point. The Pontiac Vibe and the Toyota Matrix were basically the
cars
same.
Rebadge all the time.
Yeah,
my Roadrunner is rebadged.
From what?
There's a Dodge Aspen and the Plymouth Volare Roadrunner, and they're the same car. They have minor trim differences, different grill in the front, minor trim differences, same car. Parts are interchangeable, same things.
Mm-hmm.
All Novas are the same thing, right? You know what Nova stands for?
Chevy Nova.
You have the Nova, the Omega, the Ventura, and the Apollo. They're all the same car, same platform.
Really?
Yep. You have the Chevy Nova. Who makes the Omega? Olds?
I have no idea. I don't even know about the
Oldsmobile Omega, the Pontiac Ventura, and I don't know who did the Apollo. Who did the Apollo? 1970.
You're getting space results.
Buick did the
of course.
So the name Nova, like when people think Nova and they know what it means, they're like Chevy Nova. I know that car. The Nova is an acronym for the platform that represents 4 cars from 4 different people.
Interesting. Which one of those got made into a Saturn?
Well,
Saturn was the one. Wasn't that the one they had? Like, what was the panels made out of? It was a different material. That was it like fiberglass or something? Like they wouldn't dent. Was like their claim to fame. Like the Saturns wouldn't dent. Yeah,
I remember they came on the scene when I was younger, and all I know from just checking the cars as I've been buying cars is that they're terrible resale value. Like they're just egregious.
Saturn. I mean, now they don't even make them.
I've never looked at one.
What was the other one? There was another car make. I don't think it was Saturn. There's another car make that like the creators of this brand were jet engine designers.
Who made fun of anybody ever driving a Nova? Cars are worth a shit ton these days. People love Novas. That's wild to me that somebody made fun of somebody for Nova. Yeah, Sarathino also said no go. Yeah, apparently that's what that means in Spanish.
Nova means no go. Oh, that's funny.
Spanish. It's hilarious.
Or the
for a muscle car.
Fix or repair daily. The Ford.
Yeah.
FORD. Yeah. Was it Ion or something? Like what was that car?
Yeah, that's a
was
thing.
Is that what it's called? Ion car?
Saturn Ion.
Oh, Saturn Ion. I'm trying to think. There was a brand of car that was like they were really fast. There's only a couple models of them. Car brand made by jet engine designers or something like that. What the heck was this called? Car manufacturer. I don't remember. Damn it. I'm gonna think about it like tomorrow.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Saab. It was Saab.
Oh yeah, Saab.
Yeah, I always thought those were really.
I don't know anything about jet engines. Saabs are sweet. They make some serious sleepers.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Like you wouldn't know. Like
you wouldn't know what those things are. All ass. Like they're very serious.
They still make Saabs. Is that even still around?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to Saab. Let me get it. Oh, look at these old boxy cars. Yeah, they were fast. Yes, please.
I did find an import dealer or an import mechanic in town, so I'm going to take my jet over there and have it checked out.
Yeah, my brother-in-law does a lot of importing. He just bought a Porsche from overseas. He fixes it up a little this and that, and then he flips it. Like he flips cars.
I follow a YouTuber who has who's in Japan right now to buy cars because apparently in Japan you can buy like all of the expensive Fast and Furious cars that are all souped up and done for like $8,000.
Totally. Yeah,
and
he ships them over
on lots everywhere in Japan. They can't get rid of them. And the cars here are selling for like $70,000, and you can buy them there, ship them over, and flip them.
Yeah, He
That's what
showed
the
me like
Shapekeeper
he
was
bought
doing.
this Porsche and he was watching it like he had a live view of all the shipping stuff that was happening. It's like it's in this one and it's
Insane.
coming over
I
on
didn't
this
even understand
boat and
it
it'll be
sounds
in Vancouver on whatever day.
so much smarter than anything I'm capable of doing.
Totally. Like it seems like a whole other world. Like
It does.
that, all the things that
Like,
we do in
what?
podcast land, other people are like, how do you do that?
Yeah. But
It's
I've
just
seen a
natural to
YouTuber
us.
do the same thing. He just went and bought, I forget, some it was a Lexus one and a Mazda, and it was an RX6 or
Mazda.
something.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just bought several of on a Supra.
Mm.
And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring them all back to the States, touch them up and flip them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's but it's such a risk, man. Like not only do I not know how to do it, but like do I put up $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 cash for a car that I haven't seen? Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it runs, hopefully it comes with an engine, like
yeah, no, Yawn 32.
I'm not fam, Sean?
I'm not related to Dominic. My brother-in-law, he's not on the Italian side, so just a white dude.
The Capris.
He's not a Capri.
Dominic Capri.
Yeah, no. Not at all, man. You got your Jetta? You're all good?
You got your van.
Got my van. We drove the whole family out to a comedy night the other night. We saw Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz the other night. Yeah,
Did you see his did you see his Trump at Kill Tony last night?
Not last night. No, not since the incident.
Pretty funny, man. I watched it today this morning. I was like,
did he reenact like the shooting?
No, not at all. He came up. No, I'll send you the clip. But it was pretty funny.
It's funny because I was what was it? I missed a couple podcasts last week, and I was saying I was letting the audience and the community know that I wasn't going to make it because I was going to a comedy show, and I pulled back on saying who it was because I'm like, I don't know, people are weird about stand-up comics. People are weird about comedians, I think, in general, and maybe I was overcorrecting, but I felt like in the moment, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, because most comics are saying stuff that is going to offend somebody. And so, like, whether it's Matt Rife or Shane Gillis, Shane Gillis was, like, fired from SNL, and he says stuff, and he does a whole, like, Trump thing. I don't know. He says, dude, they're saying, like, hard R's on their words. Yeah. Like, they're saying all the things you're not allowed to say. And so I guess it was mostly that. I just didn't want to deal with anybody going, like, oh, you're going to that. Like, I just, But I pulled back.
But I watch a ton of comics. You know that about me.
So do I.
I love comics. So
yeah,
I don't really have that bone in me.
Yeah, the funny thing is,
we went and saw Jeselnik.
I think he's the king. Like, just hilarious.
So my mother-in-law was like, "Who's Anthony Jeselnik?" So we started playing some jokes. She was
oh my god! Yeah, of course.
You think this is fun? Like, yeah, this is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, like all forms of comedy. Like, Jeselnik is a very particular flavor. Mark Normand is in there. Like Norm Macdonald back in the day. Like I was watching. There's a clip of him just bombing on purpose at Bob Saget's roast. It is.
I've seen that.
Hilarious. Like all the clips, all the Norm Macdonald clips. I love it, dude. Just endless. OJ
was it a good show?
Pretty good show. It's outdoor.
I think. Yeah,
it was outdoors. It was part of this like 3-day outdoor comedy festival. So Friday night was Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz, and then Saturday was Kevin Hart, and then Sunday was Bert, what's his face, topless
Kreischer.
Guy does it, with Tom Segura, and Whitney Cummings was there as well. So we had Friday night, so pretty good lineup, and they did it in this like big outdoor park, which if you were close, it was great. We were far away. And so it was like, we got to watch a screen of a guy doing this thing, but there was like 40 or 50,000 people in this big park. Yeah.
It was expensive. Tour? I know he's on tour. Was that the tour?
It might have been a stop for him. Yeah. I don't know how we would really count that. Like this
Shane Gillis is hilarious.
Oh, dude, he was so funny.
Not that into Schaub. I don't really like Whitney much.
Same.
Bert's gonna be here or there.
It was one of those.
What was the other guy you mentioned?
Kevin Hart.
I'd love to see him live.
He's probably my least favorite of the group.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have kind of turned on him in recent years. I still think he kills.
I want to see maybe it's got to be older stuff. I don't know. Like maybe it's just when I see him playing to 100,000 people in a stadium somewhere, like something is lost. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched his old stuff?
No, I haven't. So I got to
You should.
go check out
You
some
should.
of that. It wasn't until like he started hitting Netflix that I was watching a little bit of stand up, and I thought it was.
Yeah, no, I've watched him for
Yeah.
God. The first special I think I watched him was Comedy Central special in like maybe 2008.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think that. Well, it's funny. Like, does 2008 stand up comedy hold up? Like, not from a PC standpoint, but it's always so topical.
I think that show is. Yeah. Well, it's extra. It's funny because for a lot of his jokes are like about basketball. He's playing in Cleveland. He's in front of the Cavs. A lot of the Cavs are in the crowds, like LeBron and Shaq are there. And he's making jokes about them too. It's very fun.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love comedy, dude. Like, Theo Vaughn is definitely up there for me. I would love to see Theo Vaughn play. Oh yeah,
I think he's podcast every now and again. He says some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
God, it's so funny to me. Just because it's so much of it is the delivery, that you want to call it accent, like just because it seems like there's a character that he's playing, but like, is it a character? I'm not really sure.
His
like
Cat Williams bit. Have you seen his Christmas Cat Williams bit?
No, not yet.
Look that up. Theo Vaughn, Christmas Cat Williams. Fucking hilarious.
I almost want nothing to do with Cat Williams as far as I can tell, but maybe that would be good.
He's also equally crazy. It's kind of like there's like parallels here with wrestlers where if you get too close to them, you realize they're not like the greatest people. So
of course,
just appreciate them for what they do. And it's like I still love Cat. I have 12 Cat Williams DVDs.
Yeah,
some of his specials are some of my favorites. They're absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
but he's absolutely lost it. He's off the rocker, man. He's completely out there. And you know, I just kind of detach from that part.
It's good to have that in life, man.
I also still really like Louis C.K.
Yeah,
I've talked about him for many years in PSVG.
You know, isn't it awful?
Even when it was not like appropriate to say so, but like,
I
don't, definitely don't condone anything they're doing in their private life.
Obviously not. Like that had but clearly that needs to be said.
It's very entertaining and funny.
I know.
But yeah, I would encourage you to watch some of the old Kevin Hart stuff.
Okay, yeah, definitely check that out.
Shane Gillis is pretty hilarious. He seems to be one of the newer folks, the few folks that have something interesting to say, and actually will kind of take it on.
He has this nice. I like it when it seems like the comedian is making the joke up on the spot, but it's actually very polished. Like it's this weird balance of like I don't want it to be practiced. It doesn't want to sound like it's. Yeah, well, and it's like because sometimes he would almost like interrupt himself in the middle of the joke, which is very much, of course, I would appreciate that. Be like, oh, this is a stupid joke. Like this isn't a good joke. Like he would comment that he would bring out the fact that he's going to tell a joke. And that made it somehow more funny. It's like, I don't want to tell this joke. Like this is a bad joke. And it was himself second guessing himself that somehow made it even more funny.
Yeah.
So.
I was gonna look up. Let's see here. So I really like Adrienne Iapolucci. Have you ever seen her?
I don't recognize the name, but that doesn't mean anything. Adrienne.
She has a little like 10-minute episode on.
Oh yeah. Oh, great delivery. Yes, I know her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of like I often picture to other people. She's like the female version of Jeselnik.
Yes. Yes.
And I love her. I really like Kelsey Cook. I like Jessica Curson.
Good list.
Yeah. It's good stuff. So one of my favorite things, one of my bigger things on TikTok is just covering
comics. Yeah.
Stand up. Yeah.
Well, mine just rotate through the same ones at this point. So I'd love to discover some new stuff here and there. But Adrienne, she's never on my list. Like it's always the same old. It's Mark Normand, it's Sam Morril or Morrell.
I thought Norman would be like my wife's favorite thing. His little punchline delivery is very like Hedberg-ish kind of.
Yeah.
And he's like a joke teller. And
yes,
it didn't land with her as much.
Interesting.
Into it. And I was stunned because she loves that shit.
I just think he's
like,
goofy.
That is her thing. He is goofy. No, you're spot on. He is goofy.
Very quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He plays with words. Totally. I said he's a joke, like a joke teller.
Yes.
He's not so much, and that's uncommon these days. You don't find so much of that anymore.
Yeah, just straight
like an old-fashioned comedian.
Totally. Yeah, almost one-liner.
Yeah.
Like
almost.
Doesn't necessarily have to like string them together at all.
Plays with words.
I mean, that's Justin like to a certain degree. It's not like he's telling stories. He's not weaving the jokes in and out.
Yeah.
Just
Except he's not
yeah.
puns and stuff. He's just dark.
I mean, just vicious.
And the dry
Absolutely.
delivery, just yeah, exactly. Just goes for it.
And the thing is, you know
Oh
that
yeah.
something
When he
like it's a
pauses,
oh,
that's the
you were
thing.
just
When he
waiting
pauses
for
and
it.
the whole crowd's like, oh.
And it still surprises. Like that's a I mean, some
It's
people
art.
have an appreciation, some people don't have appreciation for it. It is art. It's like, how do you do that? Like, people show up to your show because they know the type of comic you are, and you still surprise them somehow.
Yeah.
Like how in a way that is still on brand, if that makes sense. I mean, I have a huge appreciation for that. Yeah.
Oh, chat's talking about something. I'm trying to catch up.
I know, it's just catching up as well. Was it Nikki Glazer on the roast of oh my gosh, Tom Brady?
Yeah. Yeah, she killed
Nikki Glazer. She was unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, she
so
killed.
Funny.
Tony killed.
Yeah.
Who else is really good up there?
I still have to watch the whole thing. Actually, I saw her bit pulled out of it. Like every once in a while, you get like.
Too. I went back and watched. I sped through and scrubbed through to watch the comedy bits.
Yeah,
they're really careless about Brady, but
I mean, I love the roast though, dude. So good.
Yeah, yeah, she was very good.
Yeah, Bert was there. Tom Segura. Yeah,
they kind of bombed. They're better than that.
Yeah, I gotta watch that still. Anyway, what else is going on?
I don't know, man.
Xbox is alive again. Don't worry about them. They're fine.
Are they?
They're fine.
Raise the price for Game Pass.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be worth it. It's fine.
I'm locked in, so I don't. That was like the most unappealing news to me because I was like, I am so unaffected, and for years down the road, like I do not care.
It was definitely the week for me to take off the Xbox Drive because I'm not the voice that anybody wants to hear on a week like that because I'm like,
I kept telling everybody to stash Game Pass while you could.
Yeah,
so like if you missed it, that's on you. Like you weren't warned. I've been warning you for years.
The reaction, I think, mostly reflects just how heavily everyone has leaned into or identified with Xbox. So if a change is made to like the primary identity of a thing, then yeah, everybody's going to kind of freak out. But the thing is, like, there's more to it than Game Pass, I think, anyways. Like, I think there's more to Xbox than just Game Pass. And to your point, there's been many, many ways of getting it at a cheaper price. And it is complicated, though. Like, definitely, I feel like they're going in the wrong direction on the tiers. Like, that I can... Yeah, it's just...
You've heard me. I mean, I feel like that's redundant. You know that. Like, I just want there to be one thing. I don't want there to be anything other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, D-Life in the chat says, why are people so upset over $3? It's funny that you say that because it's like, yeah, people are going to be upset if it's $1.3. Why not make it $5? You know, just like make it this crazy price. And
I think it's so obviously the thing again. God, it's going to feel. I always feel like I'm just regurgitating when talking about this. It's so abundantly clear with the tiers to me that they're just trying to make people. They're trying to give people the incentive to jump up to
just do the whole.
Ultimate.
Yeah.
But
the medium
they
price
don't want to make Ultimate the thing because they're afraid if they gave you a binary choice, you'd choose to walk away. And that's the part that I don't like. You know, it's like, well, let's if you have console, we'll just leave you alone if you're there. But if you don't have any more, that you can get it, but you won't get game one games. It's like just make Ultimate I just so badly want them to like just put their foot in the sand behind their product. Like just fucking tell people what you want them to do.
Yeah.
And back it, like stand behind it instead of this nickel and dime. Like if you want to, whenever you feel like it, if you can, it's like just stop. If you want to cut gold, cut gold. If you want to make it 20, make it $20. Like stop fucking around. But it's
wait till Nintendo jumps in on this. They got another tier. Like they're on the edge with expansion pass.
They're just afraid. They're just afraid that if they actually gave you a binary choice to make, you choose to walk away. And that's why they didn't want to cut gold, and that's why they don't want to just make Game Pass the price that it needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest criticism of the plan.
Yeah.
I don't care because I've got Call of Duty. I mean, I've got Game Pass to like almost 2028, and I'll probably grab another code or two before September to extend that as far as I can.
Yeah.
You know, so like
the crappy thing is like anything else, like anytime there's a new story, is that it completely wipes out all the other stuff that just happened, unfortunately. Like, I feel like we were pretty high after the showcase. Feel like all the new games coming to Game Pass look pretty good. Like 3 or 4 games came into Game Pass in the last week that look awesome to me. Neon White I know is awesome because I love it. Flintlock is a game. Siege of Dawn is one I've got my eye on. That Dungeons of Hindenburg I think looked pretty cool. Like there's a bunch that have just come out. Yes, Chia people love, and like that now that's over on Xbox in Game Pass.
Yeah,
you just got to take what the internet says, Donnie. The internet said it was lovely.
I said it was on PSVG. I kind of wish I do wish that they'd held off on this until at least like maybe after Call of Duty come out. It would have been nice to just like let everybody have one before doing this. I think their thing is that they probably would counter that is if they did it after, there's like no value added. So if they do it before, people like, well, it's because of Call of Duty. Right. So that, I get that.
But who cares?
Like,
you're going to do it anyway.
I don't really care. But that would be like my only thing. If I was in the boardroom, I'd be like, can we do this in January, guys? Like, why do this now? Like, let's get like a couple big games out before we raise the price again. Like, let's like get Avowed out in Call of Duty and like maybe Indiana Jones. Let's talk about how great Game Pass is and let's raise the price because it's so good.
I mean, what we're gonna find out is
in the middle of summer.
Yeah, but maybe that's why. Like, that's the point. Right, like the Game Pass has been what it's worth with the offering that it's had, and now it's going to have a different offering, and so it's worth something different. Like I feel like that maybe should have been part of the messaging was like, look, it was priced at this point with these offerings, and here, look, we've got an exciting future. Here it is.
Yeah, I don't know how they would explain it. It would be nice to have something like that to go with it, but at the end of the day, subscriptions raise in price. We've all gotten used to that.
I think that part is. It's funny because that ends up being what everybody talks about, but it's the day one on Game Pass. Sometimes
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't like that they split it off. I don't like that they also didn't announce like when the games will come.
Right.
They're just like, yeah, it'll just happen. I'm like, when?
Well, basically now you have like a third library. You've got 4. You've got Cloud Library, you've got PC Game Pass Library, you've got Console Game Pass Library, and then you've got the library that doesn't also include the day one stuff.
I think it should just be the one tier. It's Game Pass.
It's too late, isn't it?
It's just like, why are you doing this? I really, if anything, I thought they would introduce like a super cheap streaming tier.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that they didn't, especially like with the Fire Stick. I thought like something like that would have made a lot of sense.
Just make it the PC's tier. PC and or cloud. PC/cloud is $11.99.
But you know, like I said on PSVG, I question how much I even think I know about any of this. Because if it were me, I would have axed gold and I'd axe online and I would have given up millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it makes a lot of sense in their offering.
Yeah.
That you're making people pay for one or the other. Because like I know for me, I don't know how you feel, but for me, like obviously it's easy enough for me to say this now because I don't have to make this decision for years. But in my mind, if I had to make this decision tomorrow, I'm just dropping down to the PC tier whenever it comes. And that'll just be it for me.
Well, I mean, not that we have to stick in the Xbox land for too long, but I am buying or I'm building a PC. I bought a couple more parts today. It's Prime Day. Got the fanciest, most over the top, most ridiculous all-in-one liquid cooler. There's a Corsair. Got this like LCD display, tells you how hot your CPU is. Got all the RGB stuff on it, like because it was $100 off, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great deal.
Stream or like make a video of you actually putting this together?
That's not anytime soon because I'm still waiting for the rest of the parts to go. I'm getting everything as it goes on sale, and especially some of the stuff that can sit in a box. CPU will be the last thing that I buy, and that'll probably be around like Black Friday. Is kind of like what I'm thinking when I finally pull this all together. But that would be great to make a video of this. I'm not very fancy at it. Like this is now you're reflecting back what I was doing to you earlier because I want you to do content about like college and sports games, and you're asking me to do content about building this PC. And my reaction to you, what I want to say to you, is exactly what you said to me. There's billions of other content creators out there who do that kind of thing. They have the right rubber gloves that they wear, and they've got the right. I was
going to say because I am intimidated by it because I don't know anything. Like this is a realm that I have no interest in. Like
building the PC.
I buy pre-builts. I want this shit to show up in a box. I want to plug it in at work.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to take all these things apart. Like I don't even know. I've never done it. Like I know computers,
Yeah.
but I don't know
You could totally do
what do
this.
you do like from parts to
Yeah.
install. I've never done it, so
It
I
can
would
be
be
overwhelming. Like it's definitely it's taking up a lot of my time and energy, but also it's scratching like an itch that I didn't realize that I had. Where it's like a puzzle that you're kind of putting together. You're like, okay, I'm going to start
Dev
with this
loves it.
piece, and I mean, it's very fun and it's very, but it's
Plays
always
PC
moving.
builder like on Steam. He just plays a game where he builds PCs.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah,
But
blows
it's
my mind.
but it's always when you change like one component. Some things impact things less than others or more than others. But like I'm definitely in this space where I haven't committed enough. I haven't bought enough of the computer yet to like close me in all the way. I still have many options that I could do. Like the size of my motherboard could change. My like I'm not even going with a graphics card yet. I'm just gonna move over what's in my computer right now. I've got a 3080. I'm just gonna move that over for now. So I'm not even like pricing that part out. But
Wait for the 5000 series.
I think I'll wait for the 5000 series. Yeah. The motherboard I'm getting will allow for like next gen AMD.
Dev is dying for the 5000 series, so he can tell me his computer's better than mine.
Well,
So
sure.
I love it.
So I mean, like you can get into the nitty gritty of all this, but like the reason I bring it up here is maybe a decision will have to be made where I go, maybe I am much more PC. Like I'm already leaning towards that anyways. You
Yeah.
know, like I do like the Steam
a while.
ecosystem. Yeah. Yeah. I know. And
I
it's
thought about, I don't even know how plausible it is. I've thought about getting like a mini PC of some kind and replacing the Xbox with it.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's
And
the
just,
other, like,
having
I mean,
something plugged into the TV that I can
yes,
use.
totally. Yeah. Why? So a mini PCs, generally speaking, I guess, trying to think about like how much more powerful you could get than an Xbox.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like I'd want it to be in the similar footprint size of the console.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to spend another $1,500. Like it need to be something.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Like if you're going to be in that, like using it on your TV, similar footprint kind of thing, like you're paying a premium, there's no doubt. For you to be in a similar kind of like performance.
So I always come back to like I already have the Xbox, I might as well just leave it. But I wish that they were more. I wish they were more similar.
Yeah.
I wish the experience from hopping back and forth was the same.
Sure.
I guess more.
Well, it would if you stayed within that Xbox ecosystem on the PC, but I understand why you wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
But like going back and forth, what was the game I was just playing? Oh, I played Still Wakes the Deep, that oil rig game from the Chinese room.
Did you hear me talk about it?
I don't recall actually.
Because this is very briefly. I don't want to. So I started to play it. I was interested to play something. I played this game for all of 5 minutes before I turned it off.
Oh.
Because I was just not in the mood.
Yeah, like, you gotta be in the mood. For sure.
I started walking around and I realized that like there's maps on all the walls and like this is how you'll navigate. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
No, you don't. It doesn't matter. Hard. I didn't look at the maps. I know that will shock many people listening. Like I didn't even look at the maps.
So I'm going to figure out and orient myself by using this and all. I was like, I don't want to. And I just turned it off.
The game is designed in a way that it draws your attention. Like go over here. I almost never got lost.
Got you. Okay, because that's where I was, and I just turned it off because I was in the. I'm playing Doom. I'm playing Duke Nukem. I'm playing.
Yeah, you just want to run and gun.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not my experience.
So I was like, another time.
Yeah, D-Life in the chat says they really liked it, and you definitely don't need the maps. I'm with them. What I was surprised at, where I thought you were going to go with that is, I thought you were all alone on this oil rig, and you are not. You are definitely not alone on this thing. There are people everywhere. Yeah. You're talking to people and you're saving people and all this other stuff. So I thought it was a little bit more desolate than that, but I really enjoyed it. But the reason I brought it up is because I went back and forth from PC to cloud to Xbox. Like every once in a while, I'm just trying to find ways and time to play my game. And for Switch, of course, you just bring your Switch with you. But on Xbox, there's a couple times where like I really do leverage that flexibility that it has, where you put the game down and you close it, and then you fire it back up on your PC, and then you go somewhere else, and it just syncs your save data. Yeah, I think that is remarkable. Nobody talks about this stuff, but that was the genuine experience I had with this game. Just as far as like the point in time of this year where my attention was being drawn in all these different places. That's how I played it.
It's supposed to be expected, and not everybody does it that well. But like Xbox has done it for many years now. It's what Steam does with the Steam Deck. Like it's for
That's
systems
not
that have cross-platform support. Like this is just
sure.
how it works.
Well, it's not even like so. When I play Switch, and if I load up my profile on Chelsea's Switch, for example, or and then go back to mine, almost every time I play a Switch game, it's like your backup cloud data isn't like synced up or whatever. There's always a mismatch.
You can set that to automatically do it. So I imagine that yours is set to manual, and that's why you're getting that prompt. You can go in there and you can set it to, I want you to automatically back up and save my saves.
Yes,
and automatically download them.
Maybe I set it that way because maybe I don't even trust Nintendo to get it right.
So I have it manual. The reason I have it manual is that sometimes because we game share on so many different family of Switches, that like we're very precious over this is my save on this system and that's your save on yours. So don't overwrite it, right? Or you'll screw it up because they're all sharing the game on my account and stuff.
So I never thought about doing it that way.
How that works?
Yeah.
And the reason that you're getting that is because you can go in there and you can go, I just want you to automatically
handle this for me.
And then it's what you want. You just click in and like, there's your last save. But if she is playing it and then you play, it'll overwrite hers.
Of course.
You're on the same profile and things like that.
Okay. Well, I kind of like that. That's a very
I actually think it's pretty slick what they've done. Yeah.
I like how you've done that though. Like you've changed that.
For example, my original Breath of the Wild save from like years ago, I have transferred and moved that profile and that save to 6 different Switches and had it stored in the cloud for some time on not any of them, and because it gives you a lot of control over where you put that stuff.
Okay, well, Xbox isn't all that special. Nice. How did you think to like you're really stretching how much value you get out of every game then?
It's just because of Jack and I. We both play Switch so much, and I'm not buying 2 copies of every game. So Jack is playing a lot of the same Switch games as I have. So we're juggling multiple saves.
Sure.
So we just have to like keep like that's why I have all my
That's genius though. Like the ingenuity that you've got here. Like I haven't heard anybody describe it in that way to kind of get around that. Like the way I get around not buying 2 copies of the same game is buying physical. Like that's how that's why I don't buy.
Yeah, I don't do that a whole lot.
Yeah, no, like that obviously because you have a solution.
I probably have. I would bet. I don't know, but I would bet I probably have 400 plus Switch games.
Yeah,
and I probably have 15 physical. So I have a whole bunch of Switch games.
So you have like your Switch is your home Switch.
Yep.
Which means you don't have to like log in every time you want to play a game. Like so if you own that game on a second Switch, which call it Jack Switch, he's using your profile. Does he have to log into your account to play it?
Yep. And then so does my wife. My wife has her Switch.
Like with a password or anything, or he just loads up that button?
It just loads up the profile on that Switch. The same thing for my wife. Now you can't play the same game on the same profile simultaneously.
Sure.
Unless one of you pop into airplane mode. So for example, Jack is the
on the home Switch.
Jack is the away Switch.
Yeah.
So if you're on the away Switch, you have to check in. So when you start the game, it does a little internet check. Once the internet check has been done, Jack can go into airplane mode. Then I can hop in and play whatever I want to play.
Oh, wow.
And we can both be playing the same game at the same time. That's why we can play Breath of the Wild at the same time. Or anything else like that.
Yeah, I definitely buy physical for this reason. And you
don't have to, but it's more, it's when you try to explain this to somebody that has no idea, like they're like,
sure. Sure. Yeah. No, this makes sense to me.
I totally get it. Yeah. It's not that difficult, but you're right. I do get a lot of value out of the one Switch purchase.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of it is if I even want to deal with the headache.
So
sometimes I get frustrated with how long it takes me to
like COVID. Like my daughter would be playing Animal Crossing. My wife would be playing Animal Crossing. I'd be playing Breath of the Wild. Jack would be playing something all on the same profile.
Interesting. You've outsmarted Nintendo.
I think they set it up that reason. I would imagine that they realized that like I'm like the super minority. It's probably like 1% of me doing this.
Sure.
I bet other people are like, we'll just buy multiple copies of the game. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I mean, that's how they designed Animal Crossing to begin with. Like you can't save multiple.
I buy so many games, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to buy multiples of the same one,
mm-hmm.
which is funny because I'm planning on buying multiples of games like this fall. Like, there's several games coming out soon. I'll be buying 2 copies of.
You got Zelda. What else you got?
No. I'm playing.
You don't care about the Zelda game?
I'm buying that, but not 2 copies. I'm buying 2 copies of Shadows of the Damned. I'm gonna get a Switch copy and a PC copy. I'll be
Mhm.
buying 2 copies of Lollipop Chainsaw, PC and Switch.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm getting Lego Horizon Adventures on Switch. Probably play it on PlayStation 5. Yeah, so it's usually things like that. Usually a Switch game physical and a PC or an Xbox port to actually play.
Yeah. Huh, I still have this voucher that I want to use, but that's a whole other
See,
that's a whole other thing.
It sounds more complicated than Game Pass's 37 years.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it
you-
isn't simple, but it's
I
also
assure
not
you it's
impossible.
not nearly as complicated as it may sound.
Yeah,
When
it's
you
just
see
those
it in
extra
practice,
steps.
like it's really nothing. Like it's nothing for my family. Like my wife will message me, "Hey, I'm trying to play Animal Crossing. Like, can you put it in airplane mode?"
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, go you.
You just have to get through the check. Once you get to the check, go offline. You can play that game for like a week.
Yeah.
And it won't be a problem.
Yeah.
It's how my son would do it before. So like he would go to the in-laws house, the cabin that has very little internet and everything. So he would want to play something like Breath of the Wild or whatever. He would check in at home and then just put it in sleep and then go up there and play that game all week.
That would work?
Yeah. He's done it 100 times.
Interesting. Yeah, again, I would just
It's just you can't play like
physical.
online games, of course, where you can't play like multiplayer game. You're not playing Fortnite or Apex like that. But yeah. Odyssey, just play in airplane mode and play it 70 hours.
Donnie, I hate pairing a Nintendo Switch controller with a new Nintendo Switch. I hate that process. Yes. That's
the only way it works is you got to plug it in.
You really do. And then you unplug it and then it's like paired. It's not even like while it's plugged in.
Yeah.
Dude, like that kind of stuff makes me want to throw the controller out the window. Like I just completely
You really have like you're just very critical on the Nintendo way of doing things.
Am I?
I think so, yeah. Like
pairing that controller sucks.
See, like you're like suck. Like suck is a word I would never use.
It does.
Not as convenient. Okay, but sucks. I don't think it sucks.
It's awful.
You just plug it in. Like that doesn't.
Dude, we've been pairing controllers since the 360, man. It's been fine. Nobody else.
It's funny. They're making that Xbox 360 controller Hyperkin.
Yeah.
And I saw this. Wario tweeted, and it's like here's a 360 controller, and his replies were full of thousands of comments were like, this wired shit's got to go. Who's plugging in a controller? I'm like, these people, like
yeah, I'm with you on that. These people gotta get on board.
People sometimes it's funny because I think I used to make fun of Dev for plugging his controller, and I plug my controller in.
I plug my controller in.
Yeah, definitely. When I play PC, I plug it in all the time.
Totally. Yeah. I'm not dealing with no input lag or nothing.
Steam input and the Xbox and all. Plugging it in seems to be the solution that like always works.
I think it's part of
plug it in. It doesn't. Nothing gets messed up.
Look, this shows up in my life far too often. For whatever reason, I seem to be switching my kids between my Switch and their mom's Switch, like with Chelsea's Switch. Like, and that process isn't super fun to me. And or transfers? Like they don't use their controllers that often, so they're always dead. What?
System transfers that we're talking about?
No, just like playing a game for like usually their controllers are paired to the Switch that's upstairs. And every once in a while we'll come down here, play some games on my Switch. And it's switching them, oddly enough, from one controller or one system to another.
I got you.
That's a bummer. Yeah. And you add, if the thing's out of batteries, you throw that on top of it, and it's just like the pressure of just wanting these kids to be able to play like right away. All these extra steps, and it's silly. And most of the time they're not a first party controller.
Yeah, we don't really have too many of those issues.
Yeah, well, you got to put it into airplane mode to play damn game.
It's really a button. You press like one button. I'm sort of thinking. I'm like, how many Switches do you have? Do you just not have?
I think there's 3 in the house.
Yeah, we have 3, and we don't really have an issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not an issue. Like I can figure it out. I know how to do it.
Well, I know you can figure it out, but like I'm trying to think. Like I've never had this complaint. It's not something that I would be like, really
pairing the controller,
switching it'd be nothing for me to go and trade Jack my Switch for his Switch. Like we could do it in a heartbeat and not miss a beat. We wouldn't even talk about it. I'd be like, hey, I just want to play your Switch right now. He'd be like, here. And I'd be like, here's mine.
I hate that I'm doing it wrong then. Sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
I suck at it.
I almost want to dig in and be like, what exactly is causing
you? What are you doing over there, Capri? What is happening? What is going on? Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you in this moment.
Like actually when we got my last Switch, before I got the Mario Red OLED one, I
Oh
had
yeah.
the other one, the older one, and we packed it up and got it all ready to give to the nieces and nephews for Christmas.
Yeah.
And before I did it, Jack came down and he goes, "Hey, wait a second. Let me transfer my Pokemon saves and my Pokemon home before you do that."
Yeah.
It's like that's the level Jack and I are on. Like we are on the same page. Like he knows where his saves are and everything. So like, yeah, we're just operating differently.
Hmm.
I don't like when we
Yeah.
got here from the PC thing. I kept wanting to talking about the PC building.
Oh
So the
yeah.
PC building is cool because it
Oh
reminds
yeah.
me
Saves.
it's very much like the tuner, it's like the car thing.
Totally.
The
Oh,
people that like
absolutely.
hot rod the cars and stuff, like, I see a lot of the
Absolutely.
same parallels there with people that are in the engine of the PC, ripping it
Yeah.
apart, changing parts and stuff, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that I'm not including a GPU in this, so it's really strange because that seems to be like the heart of a PC build is like, what are you really doing to power the games here? And I'm doing everything except for that. Like, and so I hadn't really landed on almost like the identity of the PC, if I could say that, like if that's not overstating. It's and
Like, the
so
theme
like
of the
because that
project.
will guide like what parts do you pick? Like, are you
Sure.
looking for something that's like pure performance? Are you looking for a budget build? Like, what are you going for here? The first part that I ended up getting was the case, which is a Corsair. It's a white Corsair case with a 3 RGB fans right at the start. It's got tempered glass off the side. You'll be able to see right through this thing. And so right off the bat, white plus glass plus RGB. I'm like, okay, so then we're going for kind of an aesthetic build here. So
Is it the IQ?
yeah, IQ 5000X
I
RGB
see it.
is
You
the
know who would
case.
love this? We've got this guy in our Discord named Rob
Oh
3000.
yeah, I've talked to Rob.
Yeah, Rob, he eats this shit alive.
Yes.
I've seen
Yes.
him build 80,000 theoretical PCs in our Discord. He
Yes.
just shows up every other week with, "I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing it in walnut and
Mhm.
cherry," and like he's just got maybe a nice little stained mahogany. Like he goes
Oh
back and
my
forth about it.
god.
I make fun of him about it all the time. It's hilarious.
What did he was guiding me on something. Oh, I found some CPUs on sale a while back and he was diving in big time. And then it got into motherboards and all this other stuff and
Yeah, that's where I think I usually generally get off the ride. I'm like, yeah, I don't
well,
like,
I mean,
just have people
but it's
that
so
do this.
funny that
can
you
just
jump
buy
off
a
because
PC.
yeah, but you love this kind of like min-maxing stuff. Like you love like just getting it just right.
Yeah, I don't know. I for whatever reason, when I see a PC, it just makes me think of like tedium in a way that I don't need to interact with.
That's
It just
fair because
feels like a problem that's solved. It's like you're
sure.
going out of your way to want to interact with this when like literally companies exist to do this for you.
I
And it's
guess the
not
way
like
that
the upcharge is like twice or anything. Like I bought my PC for like $1,900. Like the sum of
yeah,
its parts can't be much less than that.
yeah,
You know, it's got a
that's
4090 in it.
yeah,
Like,
sure.
it can't be that bad.
I would love to like look at. I want to almost like want to start with your pre-build and go like, what if there was anything that I would do differently, right?
Yeah.
Like could be given the option or many options. Like what would you change about it? Like for you, you wouldn't change anything about it,
But
right?
I also generally I don't care about it, I don't think, as much as like the PC builders do.
Yeah,
Like it's cool that it's got lights in it. I set a light and I've never changed it since.
sure.
You know,
Yeah,
like I generally don't care. Like if it didn't have any lights in it, if it didn't have glass, if I couldn't see inside, I don't whatever.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, to me it's a box that plays
You
it's
should
the
get like a
computer.
sleeper build kind of thing. It
I
looks like
care
an old.
more about the perform I care more about what's on screen than what's in the box. I care less what's in the box.
And I've been there honestly, Donnie, like my entire life. And for whatever reason, starting with this case has me going, oh, this could look really good. And
I
it's
only
so interesting. It's a slippery slope once you
I got a
start
whiff
there.
of it once. One time I
Yeah.
got a whiff of it. There
Hmm.
was a case that was made for Valhalla.
Yeah.
It was an NZXT case.
Oh, yeah.
And there were
Yeah.
multiple times for like 18 months that I probably messaged Delvin in the middle of the night or Dev in the middle of the night being like, could I put a 3080 in this? Like the case alone got me. Like I was like, I kind
Yeah,
of want
man.
the Assassin's Creed case.
Yeah.
But again, that's just the IP. That's just like a the sticker on the
Sure.
side.
Yeah.
You know, I could care less what goes in it. I like for whatever reason, Dev kept telling me that like the case wasn't that big, so I couldn't put like all the new stuff, and that's what held me off on buying it. Also, the case alone was like $500.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
They've got
that's a
these like
lot.
fishbowl cases, like where you just see everything. Like it's just a window into the whole ecosystem of the PC.
I like this one that we saw once that people do where it's like a flat board that they put all the pieces on, like it's literally
like you put it on the wall
and you hang it.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, that's fucking cool.
I like that.
I would do that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think that's amazing. Totally. Yeah, I love the flexibility around it. And yeah, I don't like RGB used to make me just hurl a little bit. I used to look at it and go like, oh my god, it's so easy, you know. But I also think there's a way to do it just so.
I like, you know, look, dude, I love themes and colors and like I love doing shit. Like my TV's got lights on it.
Yep.
My Xbox had lights on it.
That's the thing. How are you not into this? Like this is
like you don't know.
This isn't an understatement. I don't think, or it's an overstatement at all. Like I think you really like making things a very certain way.
But I don't like doing it. I have
no,
like
you
vision.
do. You your
I
whole
have a vision, but I usually like my custom consoles. I pay other people to make them.
I get like who did the sticker?
No More Heroes.
What do you call it? Where all the stickers are on it? What do you call that?
Oh no, I did the sticker bomb. That's
what I'm saying. Sticker bomb. Yeah.
I put stickers on something. That's not a big deal. But like my No More Heroes Switch, that's like actual painted and like I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking with that. And I paid someone to do that. My Wind Waker controller. Yeah, I love and infatuated. I bought that.
What about your canvases behind you? You did that.
Oh, I picked all those out.
Yeah.
I just found art online that I liked and bought canvases of them.
But you had still to arrange it in a certain way.
Yeah,
like
Dev likes to say, and I look because I don't know how better to explain it. The best that I've heard is Dev thinks that I have a very particular eye for how I see things, and he specifically says color. Donnie has a very specific way he likes to see colors arranged.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that's probably that. And it's probably some weird ADD or, manic.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely like an obsessive nature to what I'm doing with this. And it's ongoing, like with this PC build, because it's
that's cool.
It requires attention all the time.
Like maybe I wish I was more into it. And I kind of feel like I should be, but the moment you start getting into like connecting cables and booting up and I'm like, oh fuck no, like I don't want to.
That's fair. That. Yeah, and you know what? That's maybe an important part of the puzzle, which is like I definitely like I was born in this, Donnie. I was growing up, I never built a PC from scratch, but I was always upgrading. Like I was always learning about if I swap out this memory or if I add, like I've always talked about the graphics card I had back in the 90s, like the 3DFX Voodoo 2, like learning how to install that and like what a PCI slot was and just all that. Like
that's where I get off the ride,
which is totally understandable. Like it's just like I guess sometimes I don't give myself enough credit. Most of the time I don't give myself enough credit, but certainly in like that PC building space, like I've been at this for quite a long time. I just never really talk about it, and it certainly is like far from central to my personality. Like it's just been a thing that I've been sort of into for decades now at this point. And I built a couple PCs. And this one feels like
the most you'll ever find for me is I installed the SSD in there. I plugged it in.
Well, that's the start. Like that's kind of what I mean. Like that's
the most you're gonna get from me, man.
Well, for now, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Like if I pop the side of this thing off and blow it out every once in a while.
Dude, I remember like learning that I could install another hard drive. Like I remember, I could have two of those in here, and this is how this works, and this is these SATA cables, and you kind of like daisy chain this, and I got to power it over here, and like this is like luckily because I've really been experimental in my learning. Like luckily, I haven't fried any of these parts. Yeah, like I've done things that would shock most PC builders.
I don't think I have any understanding for like power units in PCs at all.
Yeah,
I remember talking to Rob and Dev about this, and they'd be like, "Oh, you can't do that because you need X amount of wattage or whatever." I was like, I don't know what they're fucking talking about. Like I really don't know. Like I really don't. Like just it's a power cord, dude. Just plug it in. Like whatever.
But that's the cool. That's the cool.
Like power supplies and the water. Like I have no fucking.
And now you get really dorky.
Online, they're like, make sure you ground yourself, and I'm like, how? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like I don't know what you're talking.
Go outside and touch my car. Is that what you want me to do? Touch the frame of the car.
Like put like a lightning rod on the side of the house.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Well, that's. I mean, Dev definitely knows more. Dev and Rob know more about this stuff than me. But like when as graphics cards have gotten more advanced, and to a certain extent CPUs, but certainly graphics cards have gotten more and more advanced. And I want to say it was like the 3000 series, like the 3060s, like wherever the Pascal, maybe it was the 1070s and 1060s, those ones, where like this Pascal architecture came in, where they got all this extra performance, but they didn't need all the extra power. Like back in the day, it seemed like by this time, by 2024, by 2030, we would need like 1500 watt power supply units in our car.
Yeah.
Like that's the way things were trending. And then all of a sudden, you got more performance out of these GPUs out of less power. And it's like, oh, you can pretty well get away with maybe 850, maybe 1000 watt PSU.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
kind
don't
of
even know the
fascinating.
difference between either one of them.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
wouldn't
but
even
it's
know. I'm like, which one
pretty
do I need to
important.
put in it? Somebody tell me which one goes in it. I see.
Yeah. I don't
This
know.
is
I like that kind of stuff, I guess. Like figuring out what
that's the part that I don't have. Like the theme, the
that makes
look, and
sense.
making sure
Yeah.
that there's like a through line like that, I'd be all
Yeah.
for. Like the design,
Yeah.
the custom stuff. When I see custom design PCs, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, you want to be like, can I just buy that? Like, can I, just,
I think part of it is like
make that?
showing what you've been able to figure out. Like definitely part of it is the build that you have, and the components and everything. But like it's almost like you get to display, okay, I've got this sorted out. And generally you'll have like a PC build where people have all the boxes all laid out and they'll take a picture of this. And it's a nerve-wracking experience because you go, I'm pretty sure all these things are compatible with each other. Like hopefully I haven't displayed some form of incompetence, but like that's part of the ritual, I feel.
Let's see if it boots up. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't it boot up? But like the alternative, that like the only analogy that I would make is I love cars. I like car stuff, car culture, but I'm not gonna get out there and change the fucking transmission. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, this
I'm
is because I'm definitely not changing any transmissions or even brake pads for that matter. But I can do this.
I felt accomplished because I had to put a belt on my car that popped off one day.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
yeah, I changed the dude. I changed the alternator. I told everyone I knew.
Fucking Dom Toretto over here.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video of a dude swapping out this alternator. The video itself, like soup to nuts and beginning to end, was 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, so
and I watched it over and over. I probably took me 90 minutes. Yeah,
of course.
They had to take the belt off, and which wasn't a huge deal. But I thought, like, look at me, man. Like
my Roadrunner needs another running belt soon because it's popped off twice. So I think it's getting a little loose.
See, you could build a PC.
I'm sure I could. It's just
but it's also the other piece that would be good for you, and definitely where I'm in on it is the deal seeking. Like I know generally the parts that I want to make with this thing, and I'm obsessively looking for deals to the point where
Rob 3000 level where he's got the PC part built. He has pre-built builds that he monitors prices on.
100%. So do I.
I don't understand that at all. Like,
so do I. I have a spreadsheet. I'm constantly going between. You guys have memory? No, what do you call it? Micro Center. You have Micro Center all over the state. We have Memory Express, same thing. And Amazon. I got a SSD from Amazon today. Really great price, 2 terabyte Samsung SSD. I think I saw Awesome Dave. I think I saw a couple of people buy that as well. And then they have the cooler. So I'll have by the end of the week, I'll have my case. I'll have a cooler. I've already got a Blu-ray drive because I want to watch Blu-ray movies on this thing.
Yes,
I'm gonna have an optical disc drive on this thing.
We talked about this. I don't know, however long ago. We're talking about what if this Xbox, like this next console, is a PC and has an OS and has like some Xbox wrapper on it.
Yeah,
that's what got me to thinking. I was like, could I build like a mini PC that just is my Xbox? Like, and I get like a Blu-ray drive and like something small. Maybe it doesn't do 4K, but like that's fine. Maybe I can get it to 1440 or something over here.
Totally.
And I can use Steam and stuff. I was thinking of doing something like that.
Yeah.
And just
that's the whole meta. That's the enjoyment of it. Like you've just talked about like the identity of your PC. You want a small 1440.
But I don't want to build it. I just want to buy it. Like I need somebody to make me a Steam machine. I need a small Steam machine console that runs Windows that I can plug into my television.
I'm honestly shocked that people haven't done, like, people could just do this for you. I'm sure they would be happy to do it. And then, I think Lee was going to do that for Bobby at one point, and then Bobby just bought a Mac. It's like completely the opposite. Like, can I buy this like custom thing?
I follow all of these portable channels.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, I thought like the Ally with like an external GPU might be that.
Yeah.
Like it would be that. I follow all these portable channels, and they have all these portable consoles, and a lot of them are getting into like these mini PCs, and they're like, yeah, check out this little cube. It looks like a
Yeah.
GameCube,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got like, I don't know, some AMD whatnot in there, and it can run Doom Eternal at 85 frames a second on a 1440p monitor. I'm like, why don't I just put one of those in like my
Pretty
television? And I
much.
can just you play my Steam games and my Xbox games like all in one, one unified experience.
You've been on PC for a little while now. I'm very curious how you deal with this, and I'm gonna have to wrap my mind around it as well as I build my what is ultimately going to be an overly expensive computer for what I'm actually going to use it for. So you talk about like Doom Eternal. When did that come out? 2018, something like that. 2018,
Yeah.
20, same year as Animal Crossing, same day.
Beat it again, by the way.
So obviously not a brand new game, so you don't need brand new parts to play this thing, and you can live very happily in that space, right? Like by a not bleeding edge computer, if you're going to be playing not bleeding edge games, that's fine.
Yep.
How do you deal with when a new game comes to like Game Pass or something like that, and all of a sudden the PC that you've bought isn't pushing 4,000 frames and all the things? Like, are you good with that? Like, yeah, you're fine.
Turn it down.
Yeah, like it's not.
Here's the thing. I don't play at 4K most of the time anyway.
Yeah, I don't have a 4K monitor.
My PC can do it, and I have the monitor, and sometimes I'll boot it up and try it and be like, that looks cool, and then I usually turn it down. I've talked about it a few times on the show. I've gotten really used to what I've termed, probably incorrectly, what I term is like mini 4K.
Right.
So I play what I use for a monitor is a 42-inch LG CX television.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting in front of a TV right now.
Yeah.
It's big, right?
Yeah, I'm way too big on it. Have me in a monitor or like a window.
A window, right? I have you in a window.
Yeah.
I've gotten really used to playing my games in a window.
Yeah.
So I can multitask.
Yes.
So I have my games. I usually play at 1600p if there's an option.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call mini 4K. It looks every bit as the same. It's just in a smaller window.
Yep.
So I play at 1600 in a window with all the performance stuff. Like I can turn up the frame rate as much as I want, which I generally gain a lot just by dropping down from 2160 to 1600. You gain a shit ton.
Right.
I'll take a game from 70 and take it up to 100 just by doing that.
Yeah.
So I'll play like that, and then I can have threads or YouTube or music or anything, Discord, whatever I want to have on the side. Maybe one of your podcasts, one of your Twitch streams, maybe you're on, like, we're in your Discord, which I haven't done in a while, but like if I'm hanging out in your chat, I've been literally hanging out with you while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Right. Where I have my little window. It takes up what I would say is like the
maybe a 27-inch.
Probably takes up like, it's been like 27, 32 of this 42-ish, 50, 60% of the screen, or at least my main eye real estate. And then I have little apps and stuff off to the side. It's kind of like what Xbox kind of envisioned when you could like snap things and have them, it's kind of like that in real life. And I have just gotten very accustomed to that. And I think that's why I've even in my head even thought about replacing the console. Because when I play on console, I kind of miss it. Like, there's an experience there that I'm not getting. NCAA is fine, and the biggest reason why I keep in the console is in my head. I'm like, that's the only way I can play NCAA at the moment,
right?
Like, it's not on PC, right?
Yeah.
So like that's fine for the TV experience, but like I do miss that PC experience when I do want to sit in my recliner.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I do just want to go over there. I've thought about like, do I just want a Steam Link? Do I just get a Steam Link and plug it in over there?
Mm-hmm.
And can I do that over there with that? But then I'm just doing Steam. I'm limiting myself.
Yeah.
I've thought about like literally home running like a 50-foot HDMI cord over there, like go up through the roof or whatever, and like come down if I can.
Yep.
I've put some thought into it. Like, how can I get this over there too?
Yep.
Like I want both without just buying.
Let's do it at the same time. We need to look up decent enough HDMI cables that you can get long enough. Like that's the thing now, that you need enough data transfer in some of these things.
The shame is that I feel like I should be able to do this remotely very well. There should be like an attachment or a dongle or something I can buy that can just replicate this over there over local land that's like really, really good and solid.
Could just be a docking station.
Yeah, but then but the PC, right? The PC's over here.
So you have a call it a 25 or 50-foot USB 3.0 cable that attaches out to a docking station next to your TV, which has monitor out, like an HDMI out on it that connects to your TV, and then you could have a separate Bluetooth keyboard and mouse sitting right
Still
there.
gotta do the HDMI into the docking station.
Yeah, the
Like,
HDMI from the docking station will go up to your
display.
TV. Yeah, so
No,
the USB, like the long USB cable, will connect you to your PC.
but not video.
Yeah, you can do docking station with HDMI out on it. Kelsey's got one upstairs.
But the cable from, is it USB-C from the PC to there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just run because I mean the alternative is for you to just run an HDMI. Then it's just the video that's there. What I think you need though is almost like a bit of a home base for all your other components to plug into,
and that's where I keep coming down to, like, is there a little machine that I can buy that just gives me enough of this experience over there? And it's not going to be as grand, but that's okay.
Honestly, I think I'm just talking to myself in terms of like I don't mean it like that. Like I'm gonna do this. Like you just caused me to realize when I build my PC, I'm gonna throw a docking station over by the TVs over there. Like that's my solution.
That's the thing that I really miss. That's the only thing that I think I really miss about the Ally right now.
Yeah,
because the Ally was this. When I had the Ally, I would, like, sometimes when I was playing something, I just didn't want to sit here. Sometimes I just didn't want to sit here. I wanted to be over there. Like maybe my wife was watching something or anything. I wanted to be over there. So I'd walk over there with my Ally, sit down in the chair with the Ally and relax and play. I'm just kind of missing that experience a little bit. I can remote, like I can remote play to my PC.
Yeah.
But it's not it's not the same cozy. It's just not the same experience.
I get it. No, dude, I'm literally adding docking station to my PC part list right now.
Yeah. So when I started talking about like this idea of an Xbox that is a PC, I started to get excited. I was like, actually, this makes a fucking ton of sense.
Yeah.
I would really like this. And then I just started going on the road like, why can't I do this already?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be somebody that's made a console PC. It has to. It's got to exist.
I feel like emulators are the closest thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I need a Steam Deck, but a console. I need them to make
maybe Phil will come through for us.
Like a Steam box.
Yeah.
I just like take the Steam Deck, put it in a box, and then let me connect it to my television, and we're good.
I mean, they own Windows. They should be able to do this. Like they own, they have the OS. They have all the parts. They have all the things.
The Steam Deck stuff. Garrett shared some Steam Deck stuff with me today. Did you see any of this?
No. I've been
apparently the PlayStation games that are coming out that have like their PlayStation launcher.
Yeah.
They're not working with Steam Deck anymore because they don't play nice with Proton.
Yeah, I saw I didn't know what Proton was. I thought it was a type.
I'm sure this is we just got to work around the issue thing, but like that's the other thing of like, well, let's say Steam came out with a new Steam machine. Like that's the other thing in my head is like, but I am a Windows person.
Yes.
That's why I don't main the Steam Deck. That's why I like the Ally, because I'm a Windows guy. Nothing against it and what it is. I don't want to deal with Proton issues and Linux. Like that's not my thing.
No. Yeah. Same.
So, yeah, like I very much would like Xbox to solve this for us.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm gonna keep looking around and trying to see if I can solve it myself.
I
think one of these PCs, I think one of these mini PCs might be the play.
You could do it.
Just gotta find one that has enough performance. But like I've seen a couple that are like they can do some stuff. They're pretty good.
I want to see you get one of those micro PCs, those all-in-one kind of things, and then connect a 4090 externally to it.
I kind of wish that I told my son, like, I kind of wish I had kept one of my old gaming laptops, because I could have just like set up a station over there and plugged that into it.
Yeah. I have like now I just need to decide what I'm going to do with the PC I have right now. It's a very capable PC. It's just not bleeding edge by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm building this one because I feel like I have, for whatever reason, this just seems like the moment to do it. Like it's like this is the year that it's going to happen. If I wait, then it'll never happen. So that's happening. But like the PC I have, I should be able to sell if I want to.
I sold mine.
And you mentioned gaming laptops, and I think it was Mitch who mentioned like having a gaming piece or a gaming laptop to stream from. So if my PC that I'm building is the thing that I'm playing games from, then I connect everything to a laptop, which is, small form factor, has its own sort of functionality as well that I can use away from the streaming thing. Like that might be That might be something I look into. I don't need a bleeding edge gaming PC. I'm not looking to double up on that, but just something a little bit more beefy than the like. I basically have a Chromebook. Like my laptop is a fine laptop, but it's nothing crazy.
I just recently bought a new laptop from Micro Center.
Maybe that's what. Maybe I could sell that too. I sell the laptop. I sell the PC that I have. Get a budget gaming laptop, if that's a term that's ever been used before.
That's what I bought.
And I just streamed to that
laptop.
What did you get again?
It's oh, that's a good question. I don't even know what it is.
What do you got? What do you got in there? What do you got
It's
under the hood?
cheap. Hang on a second, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I use it for. I honestly use it at work more than anything else.
Yeah. Playing Forza.
Yeah, it's a gigabyte. A Gigabyte G5. It's a 15-inch laptop.
Yeah,
it's a gaming laptop. I got it for $389 is what I paid for.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was like on sale. It was like one of the last like 2 or 3 models that they had. It has a 40 something in it. A mobile 4080.
4060. It looks like
something like that
is what I'm seeing.
I play games on it. It's pretty impressive what it can do. I think I played the last was like 100 frames a second, but the fans on it are loud as hell.
I mean, look at the vents on this
the
thing.
Fans
gigantic.
Kick up and it just starts going. So when I do play games on it, like it's a headphones only type experience. You got to plug in and drown out the sound of those fans.
I don't know anything about Gigabyte.
I use it at work because I always bring my own laptop at work because work has cracked down so hard on the security and whatnot that it's become a pain to even use like an issued laptop.
Yeah.
And they're also like, they keep handing out laptops like 8 gigs of RAM and i5s. Like they're slow as fuck.
Yeah.
So I buy my own laptop. That's the one I brought. It's got 24 gigs of RAM. It's for $389. It's spiffy.
That's
like
crazy.
It's yeah. And I have a docking station set up at work. It powers 3 monitors.
Yeah.
And I have a controller in my desk and I can play games when I want. But I honestly, I use it as a work machine more than anything else. I can play games when I want. Like lunch break, I was playing like Doom on it. That's how I was beating Doom so fast. But it's not. I don't mainly use it to play games.
I'm just trying to. Maybe I'm putting this out there for anybody who knows about this stuff. Like I don't know if I actually need a gaming PC for this purpose, or if I just need like a beefy non-GPU laptop, like one with a really good processor. Like I don't know how much. Like if I'm just using it to run OBS on and run that through, like do I need GPU? No. I don't think so. I think it's just a good CPU on that thing.
Yeah, I mean you could probably you would probably want one, but you don't need like a 40 something or anything like that. You could get away.
To be honest with you, like I don't love the look and feel of a gaming PC or a gaming laptop in general. Like I just think they're thick in not the good way. Like I still like my laptops to be sleek.
You like the Ultrabook.
Yeah.
The slim profile, the aluminum. Yeah.
Yeah. The laptop I have is very slim. Like it's not even 2 pounds.
I like Chromebooks for that reason too.
Totally.
I don't like it to be my daily carry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's got to be because it's got to be portable. And the reason I originally bought the laptop I have right now is because I used to record the Xbox Drive in the car. And so I was always using it to record something. I had it with me on the go all the time. So the laptop I had previous to that was way too heavy for me. And so it was really good I was focused on getting something that was light and thin. And I didn't need a giant screen. I didn't need the 10 key on the right. I didn't need like that full keyboard kind of thing. So I was looking for as small and powerful as possible. So I don't know if that's still a thing that can run as a streaming laptop. But that's a pretty specific use case for a laptop I would be looking for. Maybe this is the next journey I'm on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's outside of my realm.
Look, Donnie, I jumped on a podcast with you for a couple hours today, and I've decided I'm going to be buying a docking station and a gaming laptop, a streaming laptop. Like, Jesus.
I'm looking at YouTube videos of cheap mini PCs that can replace your consoles. What popped up. They're out there. Like, I just don't know a whole lot about them.
They're definitely out there. I think it's the form factor that I'd be interested in what you land on.
What is this? Let's see. He's playing Pal World. Cyberpunk. Let's see here. Cyberpunk at 1440. He's playing it at 95 frames a second on this thing. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That's good too, because it gives you like it doesn't have to be 4,000 frames a second or 4K, but 90 is good because That sounds like it'll last you. Like that you got a couple of years before you start getting to like, the 70s or dear God, the 50s
50s,
frames
the
per second.
40s,
Like,
like,
yeah,
oh,
the
what is
40.
this nonsense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always come back to there are games that like you just can't play on PC. There's
Right.
no way getting around it. The NCAA is only on consoles.
Yeah.
And the reason that I mainly bought an Xbox, which is the console I play for most, but the reason that I chose Xbox over anything else is that eventually that game will hit the EA Play Vault and hit Game Pass. It'll be in cloud, and I'll be able to play it remotely, and I can play it on anything. I can
Yeah.
stream it to my phone, and like that was a big sell for me until they make a portable version. That's the next best thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of those games, but I do have that
Mhm.
one. I also thought about getting rid of the X and dropping down to an S.
Oh yeah.
I thought about that as well.
Yeah, I don't. You're really good about getting the most out of like whatever you have. Like this is kind of like where my question came from before with the PC builds. Like I have a Series S and I don't like I'm ready to sell it because why would I play on that when I have a Series X kind of thing? And like that's how my brain works. Yours is much more freeing, I think, where you're just like, I mean, I could just play this and it's like basically the same, and that's good enough.
You're like, why would I play this when I have this? I'm thinking the same thing. It's why do I keep the X when I'm playing so much on my PC?
Sure.
Like, what purpose is the X?
Well, yes, that's the same mentality. Definitely the same mentality.
It's like I could, and I'm like, could I get my PC experience over here? Could I replace this with something better, cheaper, more efficient?
But remember, that's what the Series S existed to begin with. It's a secondary, like it's there for.
The main reason that I have the Xbox is the Blu-ray. That's the only reason. Like I use that thing for Blu-ray more than anything else.
Yep.
And like if I drop down to the S, am I going to miss anything on NCAA football? No. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
I would be a little test it out. See,
picture. Yeah,
give it a little test drive.
Jack has his Series. That's what he plays. So he wants me to just give him the X. I'm like, well, no, I'm not just gonna like give it to you.
I mean, you can't blame him if you're even like airing any of this out. He's like, I'm gonna jump on this.
Yeah. He's like, I'll just trade you. I'm like, no, that's not what we were talking about.
I love it. Yeah, in his mind, like this is happening.
He also has he has a 1440p monitor. I'm like, for what reason would you want the X? Like, what's happening over here? What do you
play 1440
advantage of it?
That'd be
you
fine.
can do it with the Series S. Like nothing changes.
Same number of frames. Okay, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's true, but sure. I think you lose a bunch.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
it's just in my head. Like, what is the actual experience?
Like,
which is
in my head. The reason I keep coming back to it is if there's any time that I want to play this the very best that I possibly can.
Yeah.
I'm playing on my PC. I'm sitting down on my PC to play.
That's totally makes sense. Like that space is occupied by PC. Having anything that's even close to it seems silly. Totally makes sense. Totally tracks. Yeah. I haven't made I don't think of my PC in that way, which is actually makes the whole PC building thing so stupid and silly. Like, why am I doing that? Like, I don't think of PC gaming as like a primary place to be.
Because it's fun to do.
That's 100% why I'm doing it. That's exactly why. Yes.
That's it. That's the only reason you do it, because it's fucking fun to do.
Yes. And it's going to look sweet. And I'm going to get one. I've got a standing desk. I'm going to get one of those mounts that I guess mounts the PC case under my desk. Yarden in the chat. Let's not pick Sean, a college team.
A college football team.
Yeah.
You need an alma mater to root for.
Georgetown Bulldogs. That's who I like.
They don't have a football team.
Oh, really? Just basketball?
Just basketball.
Because I only know that from NCAA basketball on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, that's the only reason I know that team. I don't know anybody else. We could do like the guess the logo kind of game. But I feel like they're fairly obvious. A lot of them.
Much, it's
just like the letters of where they're from. Yeah.
I don't even know who I would suggest for you to pick. I mean,
I loved you trying to do it with Dev, and he's just like, absolutely not. Like, you made a lot of sense, but didn't matter.
I mean, I feel like the Minnesota Golden Gophers are very Canadian.
That sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're
very
awesome.
long name. Minnesota is basically Canada.
Their uniforms are fucking killer.
Okay, say it again. Minnesota what? Golden what?
They're the Minnesota Golden Gophers. and it's a very respectable, like middle bottom tier team to take to the mountaintop.
I like these colors. Yeah,
The
I could do.
colors are dope. I
Those are-
respect Minnesota. They have some throwback helmets
Okay.
with the gopher on the side and shit that are yellow that are fucking dope.
Oh, those are sweet. Yeah, man, those are great. They look like a little chipmunk kind of deal here.
Yeah,
Nice.
you see it? The yellow helmet?
That is nice.
Shit is
okay.
killer.
I'm picking this up. Do you have any? Oddly enough, my high school had Vikings colors.
Yeah.
Purple and gold. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got any colleges with purple and gold?
One of my favorite, well, I would say one of my favorite, one of the universities I really grew up to like.
Why am I talking about high school? I went to university.
My favorite color is purple.
Yeah.
The Washington, the University of Washington uniforms. Check those out.
University Washington football.
They're the Huskies.
Oh yeah, good purple. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I could deal with this. Yeah, very nice. What about my my university, which is probably where I should have started, was Green Bay Packers colors, green and gold. We're the Golden Bears, University of Alberta Golden Bears.
This is actually the team that first came to mind. It's a team that I'm also very fond of. North Dakota State University.
North Dakota State.
NDSU.
Football. Okay.
The
oh
Bisons.
yeah. Yes.
So here's the cool thing about this. Let me tell you, I'm not even kidding. This is the first thing that came to mind when you were like, let's pick a team for Sean. This school came to mind. And here's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I didn't mention it first is they're not in the game. They'll have to be added to the game. We have to make them and add them to the game because they just became, I think they're in Division I subdivision. They're in the next tier down. But here's the thing. They're like the powerhouse of the next tier down. So they're like the team on deck to get called up.
That's me.
To the majors. They're the next team.
Like I'm not top of the list, but like you go down far enough, you set your expectations low enough. I'm amazing.
They're E2 powerhouse. They've won so many championships. And the crazy thing is the thing that I love about NDSU, a rabid fan base. You think of North Dakota, you think of nothing. You watch College Game Day, go to North Dakota State, and there are people going bananas for their fucking team. I love
like it.
Passionate fans.
This might be it.
They're the sleeper team that like the big schools don't want to schedule.
I love sleeping.
They'll show up to Iowa and beat them and go home. Like you're like, oh shit. Like they'll send Iowa State packing every now and again. They'll beat somebody like a bigger known team. They'll come into the Big Ten and they'll send Illinois home one day. I really like them. Also, I believe if it's not his alma mater, it's definitely like the team he grew up with. Kyle on our team. This is his school. North Dakota
cool.
State. Yeah, so
I like it very much.
I got a chance to know them over the time. But yeah, if you're looking for
this is going to be hard to top, Donnie.
The Green Bay color scheme, that's your team.
Yep. Yeah, and it's funny because it's not exactly Green Bay. Like it's just a little bit off, which is my university. Not like it's green and yellow, green, gold. Like it's very, very similar to this.
That's as north, it's North Dakota. That's as up there as it really gets. That's
Canada. I know we make fun of Canada a lot. I don't know if
Canada.
Let me see what comes up with University of Alberta Golden Bears. Like what you like? There's hockey teams here as well. I think that's a decent college logo.
We have the Cal Golden Bears.
Okay,
that's Aaron Rodgers' alma mater.
You know, it's weird that they have different. It's a different team for the women's sports. It's the Pandas. Or the Golden Bears for the guys.
Panda is a fucking awesome mascot.
It is. I
don't think we have any pandas in college football, but we should.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a vicious looking panda.
Yeah, like I like the panda a lot better than the bear. Your bear looks like an off-color comment, like an off-color cartoon from like the 30s.
Definitely. Yes. This is like they drafted like one picture. They went with that.
Yeah, this looks like a cartoon that was canceled several decades ago.
Yep. Yes. Yep. We're sticking with it, man. There's a toughness about it. It's sort of like a confused nature.
Their football stadium is called Foot Field.
Foot Field. Yes, Foot with an E. Yep. Some dude named Foot.
NDSU. NDSU.
Yeah, NDSU could be. And North, I mean, that's Canada.
It is Canada. North Dakota is right there.
North Dakota is basically Canada.
I root for NDSU whenever they're playing any other team besides my favorite teams. Like, I
Okay.
root for them.
So this is not in NCAA football. This is not
That university is not in the game, but they will be. The moment Team Builder opens Friday, you'll be able to download that team from 1,000 people and make that team.
I guess
Because
like there's
people
countless teams.
Because people love that school. Like, they're going to be there.
And what is it about them that it's a D12 thing? Is that why are they not in it?
So there's conferences, there's tiers.
Yeah.
Right. So there's the bigger universities, Division 1, there's Division 2, Division 3. They used to call it Div 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's called like sub-conference and something else. I don't understand it anymore. But they're just in that next tier down. Like, for example, Yarden and the Chets is pick Kennesaw State. They also used to be in sub-conference and they just got drafted up. So as colleges expand and move around, these universities backfill their conferences with new universities. So like, if and when like the Mountain West expands or the Pac-12 tries to rebuild, North Dakota State's going to get an invite to join a conference soon. Somebody's going to come to them and be like, "Hey, come join our conference." But they're right there on the cusp. And like I said, they actually beat these teams. It's just south of Winnipeg.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's right down. There's a highway 75 from Winnipeg to North.
Couple hours north, you're cheering for the Blue Bombers, Donnie, in the CFL. And I bet they would beat the CFL. I bet this team would beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the professional football team in Canada. Yeah. Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Like, their last 5 coaches have went on to get bigger jobs because they've all won national titles. Like, yeah, I don't know how many times they have, like 10 Division 2 national championships. I'm like, they're like a storied program.
I would want to see that, like, just as not a good Canadian moment, but I want to see college football teams from the States play professional Canadian football.
Oh, I would love to send the Cleveland Browns to the Canadian Football League. We'd win like 80
not NFL,
80 to
not
7.
Not NFL. I mean college football teams playing.
I'd love to send the Buckeyes to the Canadian. We'd also win like 80.
That would be great. Obviously the Browns would beat any team in the CFL.
God,
there's no doubt. That's not fun. It's the college teams would be a little bit more interesting.
Would destroy the Canadian football.
I think middle of the road. Honestly, I don't think the CFL's good at all.
I mean, no, I think like you could send Iowa and they wouldn't win at all, but they'd be like competitive. But like if you sent Georgia or Bama or Ohio State or Oregon, they would probably win the whole thing.
I think so.
They'd go undefeated.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State basically is a professional league. They're just young.
Yeah.
But it's a professional team. Every one of those players will play professional football in the world.
Yeah. I just wonder about like the training. I feel like the training's got to be better. Like I don't know. It seems like
it's
optional.
Remember, there are players at the college level that would be on NFL teams, but they're just not eligible yet. But if they were available, they would be. All the players in the Canadian Football League are players that
didn't make NFL.
Yeah, they're not going to make the cut.
Yeah, not even close, by the way.
Yeah, and that's just talent. Like I would give you like there's experience and age, and that might give you something.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's sports and talent usually wins.
Well, and just remember this. The Rock was cut from the Calgary Stampeders.
Correct.
So yeah, he found his path.
Yeah, so
that's gotta suck. Like even just going to the CFL, like, oh man, I wanted to play in the NFL. My dream is play in the NFL. I guess I'll go. Not gonna make it. I'll go to the CFL. Okay. Shit.
Yarden's backing my NDSU pitch.
I think I'm good with it, man. Like I like the look of this. I like the Bisons. Are they Bisons?
Yeah, it's a scrappy team. So like they get like 1 or 2 games a year where they can really get a chance to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Gophers, if you're a fan of the Gophers, they can have a good year, but you're always going to play Michigan, Penn State.
I already forgot where they're from. Minnesota. Oh yeah.
They're always going to lose those games. You know, like they're going to lose Michigan State.
Yeah, but I'm good with that. Like that doesn't.
State, Michigan,
that can't matter.
USC.
Those are sweet uniforms, though, dude. I really like that.
Those yellow helmet Gopher uniforms are some of my favorite in college football.
That's pretty good.
They are fucking killer. Very. If I was a Minnesota fan, I would rep that shit all the time. That would be my.
How much I like Minnesota. Sorry to anybody who's from Minnesota.
That is some wild shit to say as a Canadian, because like we all just assume that's you.
You guys all think it's the same, yeah. Smoking Dio. That's exactly what Smoking Dio says in the chat.
That's the fucking same thing.
Right
that's
on cue.
That's a wild thing for a Canadian to be like, "Fuck Minnesota."
Fuck Minnesota.
What? I always wondered why it wasn't in Canada. I just figured like the French lost some war to like the the colonies sometime. Like I'm like, why
Maybe it's
isn't
because you
this in
gotta have a
Canada?
straight line across. We can't be dipping
It's
down
so weird.
below that parallel, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yarden says NDSU is going against Colorado. That's interesting. Colorado is reportedly supposed to be much better this year. They had a lot of transfers come through. They
Yeah.
are the talk of the town. They were terrible last year. They got all the buzz in the world because of coach, and they sucked. I don't know what NDSU is looking like because I don't keep up with their program, like, transfers and all that. But if they're good, they could give Colorado a game for sure. But I don't know what they're looking like. I don't know what they did last year.
I love that you guys know all this stuff. Like, there's obviously things to know about it, but like,
Well, you remember I used to scout high school football, so I'm kind of
know.
more into this than I
you're
used
tapped
to.
in.
I'm not as into it as I used to be, but I'm more knowledgeable than I think the average person. I
Yeah.
called the Colorado
It's just
thing.
a lot, dude.
I
You
wasn't
have to
rooting
admit.
against Deion Sanders, but like the idea that he was going to walk into a team that was that bad and with some JUCO transfers and change the world.
Yeah.
I tried warning him, and I'll never forget. I told my father-in-law, I told him to bet the house. I was like, if I were you, I'd bet everything you had. Oregon's going to pound the shit out of this team. He was like, I don't know, because they won like 5 games in a row. They beat Nebraska. They beat a bunch of people that weren't very good.
Is that the Ducks?
And
the Oregon Ducks?
A favorite team of me. I'm a big Oregon fan.
That's where my dad went to university.
Oh, awesome. I dated a cheerleader that went there. I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
And I told my father-in-law, I was like, if you've got the money, put the house down. And he was like, I don't know, because like obviously Deion Sanders is a big personality. He's really big for the sport, so that he gets a lot of media attention. So they're really driving that story, pumping them up. They're 5-0. They beat UTEP, and it's like, yeah, nobody cares. Oregon comes to town. This is a legit football powerhouse. They've got 15 real linemen, 5 real running backs, 3 real quarterbacks. I was like, they're going to beat the shit out of this team. Like it's going to be like it's going to be bad. They're going to look like a minor league team. And like first quarter, it was over. And my father-in-law called me. He was like, I should have listened to you. I was like, dude, I told you. Like they're not. They're just not in the same. That's the thing. That's another thing that I think people really like about college football. There's a class system in college football, like the haves and the have-nots, and the range is wide. There's a huge discrepancy, right? But every now and again, you'll get a right coach or the right system or the right player that'll come to one of these smaller schools, and they'll get punchy, and they can beat somebody up there, right? So you have these Cinderella moments. It's not like it's impossible. But Colorado was not anywhere close to being ready for like actual main line. Maybe this year they are. I know they brought in a bunch of linemen. Last year they were just too small. Yeah. Like almost across the board, every position, they were just too small. So you get a real team that comes to town, they look small. You're like, they're going to get pushed around.
It's so, even just the NFL, like this is way bigger. There's more schools, more players, way more to consider.
There's 134 on Division I level.
Schools.
Teams. Yeah.
That's too much.
That's just at the Division I. Then there's like a whole other Division II. That's everything. Yeah.
It's too much.
My alma mater is a Division II school like NDSU. That's my alma mater. So I'll be building them on Friday and bringing them into the game.
Okay. I mean, I love hearing you talk about it, but like I said, like you understand why like somebody might not be able to jump in.
It's a lot.
Like you got to start somewhere. I guess part of it is like comics too. Comics is like that to a certain extent. Like
TPR was asking. I sent him a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
Of the past, like some documentaries about college football.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's regional. It's very regional, but there's a lot of tradition and pageantry that's like it's in the blood. It's in the DNA of like the people that come from there.
Yeah.
Like the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, it goes back so far. You hear these stories of Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes. Like you see black and white game footage from like the 50s and the Snow Bowl. It's like very Johnny Unitas shit. And like you get these stories that get passed down from like father to son, from father to son to coach. You hear about like from Pee-wee football all the way up through high school football. So it's like in some places, not everywhere, but in some places, it's a whole different beast.
I'm looking up who played for North Dakota State and then went on to do something else, and I don't recognize.
Oh, Carson Wentz. I can tell you that right now. Carson Wentz was the number 2 draft pick, drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, starting quarterback. Yep. He played around. Yeah, he was.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I wanted the Browns to take him that year, and they didn't. He was
Okay.
the dude. Yeah. They had
Hmm.
another one a few years ago. Yard might be able to help me out. I think he ride the bench in San Fran, smoking Joe that Trey Lance. Yeah. They took him
Trey
like super
Lance.
high,
Yeah.
but I don't think he panned out or something.
Yeah. Easton's. These are the names: Billy Turner, Easton Stick, Cordell Volson, Dylan Radunes, Carson Wentz, Joe Haig, Jabril Cox.
I know
Any of
Joe
these?
Haig.
Christian Watson, Green Bay Packers. Well, my new team. Now I can't wait to not play them on the brand new NCAA
You gotta
college
play it,
football
man. Get in
game.
there.
Well, I'll get that. I'll get that trial. I'll give that a shot.
EA Play.
Yeah, I do want to. Man, there's so many things I want to get to. So much.
That's how I feel. I've got so much that I want to play,
Yeah, I want to play
But I
FIFA or EAFC, whatever the hell.
but I don't have a whole lot of time. And like I just basically threw my hands. I'm like, I'm just gonna be playing NCAA anyway, so I'll figure it out later.
That's kind of
actually-
nice, though. That's a good place to land.
It's really good for me because like on the Nintendo side, I'm not really doing a whole lot of anything for a minute.
Yeah,
So it fills in a nice gap.
yeah,
But there's a bunch of stuff like I would love to try the Tenetsugami game. I'd like to play Stranded Deep or whatever it's called.
yeah. It still wakes the deep.
Still
Yeah,
Wakes the Deep.
It's only a couple hours. So not worth
I want
anybody's
to play
time.
Motorfest. I want to play Turismo.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of things I want to do, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna play NCAA football.
I'd be
for a
a
very
bit
long
more
time.
curious just to hear what you think about Still Wakes the Deep. But I don't want to like taint your opinion too much. Like I think you would like it. I don't know that you'd be right.
I've been told that multiple times, and I find that interesting because there are several horror movies that I keep finding a reference to, and they're not my favorite.
Yeah,
Like,
I just think I think you would give it a fine, whatever that
Color
is.
Out of Space and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't be going crazy about it, but I think it's a Donnie type game. Maybe that's oversimplifying things, but I wanted to ask you. Oh, I think I chatted with you about this. Long legs. I was gonna say legless.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, not yet.
Did you not go to a movie recently? Did you not just
I
go to
did.
something? What did you
Yeah.
see?
Quiet Place Day One.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, how was that?
It was great. Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
good. A really great horror movie for people that generally don't like horror movies. Very
Okay.
wholesome, good message. Not
Yeah.
really scary. Like people that don't like scary things will be scared, but like
Sure.
a scary movie fan's not gonna be, it's not scary.
Yeah.
But it was like a good message, very like heartfelt, artsy.
Interesting.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a little different than the other ones, but I think the other ones are kind of in that same vein.
Yeah.
It's more about overcoming adversity and stuff than the actual like apocalypse.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be something else other than the first one,
Yeah.
which wasn't.
Well, the
Yeah.
second
This is day one. That's like this
Yeah,
is
this
like
is
you
the
see
third one.
everything. Yeah.
You do see everything, and that's why I wanted to go see all the monsters and stuff, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is very good in that regard. Yeah, for the most part, very good.
Okay. Okay.
Not my
this,
favorite of the year, but that's okay.
You still keep your rankings like as you go
I was
through.
pulling them up as I was looking.
Yeah.
I have my rankings. I have 11 on the list right now.
Pretty good.
7 of them I think are 8 are good. The other 2 are like okay, and then I'm starting to get into like I didn't like these so much.
Mm.
But I will see Long Legs when it comes out at home. That's not one I'm gonna go see in the theater.
Yeah.
Did you see it in theaters?
No, I mean, I go tonight.
I've only ever heard that it's excellent.
Yeah, I've also heard that, and honestly, it's funny because I don't think I know anything about it, and somehow it's captured my attention. The main thing that got me was there's this trailer that they cut that showed whoever the actress is in
My
it.
list is outdated.
Did you hear about this? Like the first time that she saw Nicolas Cage, like her heartbeat like jumped, her resting heart rate jumped.
That's the little tagline.
Is that
marketing the movie with?
It's funny because I feel like I haven't seen something really like that since maybe like Blair Witch kind of thing. Like it's so meta. It's so has nothing to do with the movie, but it captured my attention.
I've seen. Oh, I want to think of one. I've seen 7 or 8 movies marketed with those same sort of blurbs. And here's the thing for me, usually that's that sort of thing is usually a red flag for me. I'm like,
Is it?
"Uh-oh."
Yeah. Well, I think about like I remember seeing like those hidden cameras in the showings for or screenings for Paranormal Activity, and just people like
Paranormal is
falling
definitely
over.
one. They got
Yeah.
that. There was another one that came out, Malignant. Yeah, Malignant came out, and it had all this kind of buzz about how scary it was, and
Yeah.
had people in
Yeah.
theaters, and people were puking. They were so scared. That movie sucked. God, it sucked so hard. It was a James Wan movie, and like I typically like
Yeah.
his stuff, and that
Yeah.
movie blew. I hated that movie.
Oh,
So
really?
like typically, now I'm not saying that this is because I have other
Yeah. No,
folks,
I
like
just want to be like
others'
crystal clear.
opinions that I trust.
Yeah.
They say Longlegs is great. So like
That
I'm
matters
still
obviously more. I like
way
that's kind of the main reason why I brought it up is because I got by the marketing. Like, and I just
when
want to be like
see the
upfront by it.
marketing
Like
like
I
that, I'm like,
see
I
it.
usually go, uh-oh. That's what I
Yeah.
do. I've watched let's see here. Sting, The Strangers Part 1, You'll Never Find Me. Maxine I went to go see recently. That's the
Yeah.
trilogy from Ty West and Pearl and X. The Conference, I've seen Infested. Thanksgiving, the new Eli Roth movie.
Oh yeah.
The Cured, Lisa Frankenstein, which is very good. Abigail, The Quiet Place. The First Omen, which was also very good.
Oh
and
yeah.
And Late Night with the Devil.
Well, there's my list that I'll have to write down later when I listen back.
And on my upcoming list, I still need to see In a Violent Nature, Alien Romulus next month will be the next theater movie trip.
Mhm.
Beetlejuice in September 6th. If you consider that a horror movie, I do. It's a Halloween movie, anyways.
Yeah.
Saw X1, which I don't know if I'll go see in theaters. Smile 2, which I love
Still
the
have to
first
see
Smile.
Smile. Yes, it's on my
And,
wish list on Amazon.
Terrifier 3 comes out in October. I probably won't see that one
Terrifier.
right away. And then on Christmas, the next Eggers movie, Nosferatu, the new remake. I got to see Longlegs, and I got to see Cuckoo, and God, there's so many. Stop Motion and Monolith and Immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Immaculate. I didn't. As actually, I'm reading through my list. I'm realizing I need to mark off several of these because I've seen several of them.
I love this, man. I just love the whole make the list, go see the thing. Now we've gotten into shopping, the shopping part of the
I don't
show.
necessarily know where should I put Immaculate. Put it here, I guess, behind Maxine. I like Maxine. I'll give you this one. I don't want to go through all of my movies and give away our horror show, but I'll tell
you got a whole thing coming up here.
I liked Maxine. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was like entertaining. It was honestly, I enjoyed it more for like the Easter eggs and the nods that it paid to like 80s horror.
Sure.
But like as a movie, it was just okay.
Yeah.
I liked it better than Pearl. It's not as good as X, which I loved, but I liked it better than Pearl.
I can't believe you don't podcast about movies. Again, like, and make your college football game stream.
I do podcast about movies. I do a horror movie podcast every year.
Once a year, you know what I mean. Like, you watch enough movies that you could do it weekly. You could do it monthly at the very least.
One, I'd have to do it by myself, right?
Which would be very entertaining. I think that would be.
I don't like recording by myself.
Well, I would do. I mean, I guess we kind of do it here.
Yeah, that's not something
I want to be more purposeful. Maybe we got to chat in between these.
You're very good at. I've listened to you do podcasts by yourself. You're honestly excellent at it. It's really very good. I've done it like twice, and I think both times I don't think it was very good.
Then I want to work it into this. I want to work in movie. I feel like we've said it before. I want to be more deliberate about this. It's just about anticipate, like knowing that we're gonna do a Sweet Hangs. Let's have a movie to talk about.
Sure.
We can sort of like back into an ass backwards way of doing Flux to Post. They quit that show. We'll have a little bit of Flux to Post showing up in Sweet Hangs here. Just a little. Not. That's about as much structure as even saying it out loud. Like it doesn't even feel that. We don't want structure for this show.
What we do.
Yeah.
But like I'm gonna watch so I'm off today. I'm off tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna watch a horror movie before I go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Probably watch I Saw the TV Glow, which is on my list that I've been wanting to watch for a while. So that'll probably be my next one.
Do you peruse like Prime Days at all, like to fill out your movie collection? Like you're good with your streaming. Oh, are you? Okay.
I almost bought a collection of movies this morning. They have the Monster Collection on sale.
Yeah.
And I had it in my cart and everything. I had the discount code and I was looking at it. In the back of my head, I was like, have I bought this already?
Yeah.
And I was sitting in bed and I was like, okay, don't buy it yet. Just go downstairs and see if you, and I do. I have actually already had it. I almost bought an entire collection of movies I already have.
Amazing.
I've done
Yes.
that occasionally.
I think I've done that as
I've bought a
well.
couple movies that I've already owned.
Yeah. Definitely done it. Yeah.
But I saved myself from doing today, so I saved myself $50, which is important. I'm up to, I was trying to count. I've seen 30 horror movies this year so far.
That's crazy. I don't know if I've seen 30 horror movies ever.
And I think I have another at least 15 to go, if not like 25 or 30 more.
I was really hoping to be further along in, because of course last year we did an episode where I watched a bunch of horror movies.
I gave you a list.
I haven't watched any of them. I haven't watched any of them. I haven't watched any of the sequels to anything we watched last year. So maybe that's a good place for me to start.
I don't remember the list that I gave you, but was Hereditary on it?
Hereditary is definitely on it.
Because that's on my, so every year, I've talked about this religiously on Decorative Horror, but every year I curate a list together for my wife. And some of them are like new movies and some of them are revisited movies and some of them are old movies. Hereditary is my revisit pick this year. I'm watching Hereditary again. We haven't watched it in 5 or 6 years, I think, maybe even longer. I love that movie. It's a perfect horror movie. Honestly, it's perfect in every way. It's excellent. And you have to watch it. It's must see. Whereas I understand why some people don't like Midsommar, especially, and I think a lot of people don't like Midsommar because fools like me go on waxing poetic about how artsy and special it is. But Hereditary literally is like the perfect horror movie. No. It's like if people are like, I don't like Hereditary, I don't trust your opinion anymore. we just can't be friends.
Midsommar is excellent. Midsommar is completely unforgettable to me.
Mind-blowing.
What was somebody was just showing me a.
But I understand. I do understand when people are like, I don't think Midsommar is for everybody. It's a higher brow type of horror movie. I also, though, to a lot of those people, I also tell them there are a lot of things about Midsommar I didn't understand or get or didn't see until my second or third time through. There's a lot of hidden stuff in the background of that movie. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you owe yourself to at least do a Google search.
I don't, and because I've only watched it once.
There's imagery and entire pictures and characters and shit like in the trees and in patterns, like a bunch of hidden stuff. When you see it for everything that it is, then you're like, this movie's it's perfection. But I understand a lot of other people, they're like, this isn't what they want from a horror movie. And that's a fine critique. There's nothing wrong with that.
I still have all my notes from when we watched.
Oh, perfect.
All the movies. Perfect. So yeah, it's all here. I've got my rankings. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was my number 1. Child's Play was number 2. Nightmare on Elm Street was number 3. Hellraiser was number 4. Friday the 13th was number 5 of those movies. I've got to find the list though, because I've got like a page for each one of these.
I'm gonna watch Elm Street this year. I would
like. But I bought collections. Remember, I bought like all the Friday the 13th movies.
Did you actually buy them?
Yeah. I still have them. I see the Halloween collection was on sale as well, but that gets a little complicated because there's a whole bunch of different Halloween movies. I have a Blu-ray
collection of Halloween that's like really expensive now.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
I don't know why it went up in price so much, but
yeah, I'm eyeing that. Yeah, I gotta.
Did you ever watch the zombie version of Halloween?
Yes, I saw the first one. I never saw any of the other ones, but I love.
He only remade the second one. He made Halloween 1 and 2. The remake of Halloween 2 is kind of terrible, but the remake of Halloween 1 is excellent.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. Like that, I thought it was great. But I remember you saying that about the second one, that it wasn't.
I like it, but it's not. It's like it's really sleazy, and I don't think a lot of people like it for that reason. Yeah, it's not as good as the first one. I like it. It's not as good as the first one.
Yeah. Let me see how much is this thing? I'm looking at
It also seems like way lower budget than the first one too. Halloween 2, the zombie Halloween 2 might be more of a cash grab. Like, we'll give you some money because you did the first one, but I don't think it was ever meant to be like a great movie. It doesn't look like it had the script or the budget to be a great movie.
Just experimental, if anything. Like tried and true franchise. You got a weirdo like Rob Zombie kind of going at it.
It's not so we got D-Life. He says, I'm one of those people that liked Hereditary more than Midsommar. Totally fine. Nothing wrong with that.
More than Midsommar? I mean, that's not saying that you didn't like Hereditary or Midsommar.
Yeah.
Oh, here, Midsommar is 34% off 4K Blu-ray.
Nice.
I
I have
was also
I have the super special collector's edition of that movie that I'm like super stoked about.
adding it to the wish list anyways. Oh, here's Hereditary. Oh, this brings up a whole bunch of great suggestions. Hereditary added to the wish list. What'd you think of The Witch?
Oh, The Rich is excellent.
I remember you talking about that.
I could see. Did you watch it?
No, I just added it
I
to the
could
wish
see
list.
you not liking it. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I mean, I'll pitch an idea. Here's why. The Witch is an extremely slow, like subliminal movie. It's a lot of like the fear is the paranoia that's happening, not necessarily
I'm good with that though.
what you're seeing happening.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that was
I could
Paranormal Activity.
It's not nearly as eventful as Paranormal Activity.
Sure, but you remember like the night scenes.
Way slower build, slower
Sure.
trip.
Yeah.
So if you're into that,
I am.
if you're into like a Hitchcock haunting type of a movie,
Yeah.
the slow build type of thing, The Witch is literally like the best version of that.
What about
But if
compared to
you're
like
not,
Texas Chainsaw
if you're
Massacre?
into like slashers, you may watch The Witch and be like, this is boring. Right. But I
Yeah, I don't
love The
know.
Witch. The Witch is excellent.
I don't think
chef's
I
kiss.
have like preconceived notions in any way at all on that. I
'Cause you
feel like
actually
that
just haven't
I haven't watched
them.
enough, I guess. And I don't know that I go into a horror like there. I'm kind of okay with it because I don't like Delvin. I think he likes the gore porn kind of element to it. Like that's the like I'm kind of I don't need that.
The Hostel Terrifier.
Yeah.
Halloween. He liked the new Halloweens because he wants the blood and the effects, and I like those too. I'm a slasher fan at heart, but and I think he's probably this way too. I don't want to paint anybody in a box. It's just we all have our things that we like gravitate to. I think I just like horror movies. I think I kind of like them all.
Yeah.
My least favorite is probably the torture porn parts.
100%.
The hostels. Those aren't my favorite things.
Yeah.
I like them. I watch them. I've seen Terrifier. I watch them. They're not the things I'm going to put on a pedestal. Like, I'm not like I want them. Like I think the first Saw is an excellent movie.
Agreed.
But you know, it kind of loses its way. All slashers do by any measure. So yeah, that's his thing. But I think he likes a little bit more than that. But the Witch is very much like a Lucas horror film, for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
100%. I hope Lucas is doing all right. I haven't heard from him in a while.
I said that to Jason. I was like, "Hey, tell Lucas I said hi," because
same.
I feel like I haven't talked to him in years.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Lucas. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What is this? Midsummer Il Villaggio dei Donati's director's cut.
I have the director's cut, the yellow thing. That's what I have.
Maybe I have to get that. Here I am just shopping on friggin' Prime Day here. Good thing I'm not buying any video games, so I can all my money on buying a PC.
Zombies? Have you seen Zombies like Firefly Trilogy? Have you seen Three from Hell and Devil's Rejects and all that?
I saw Devil's Rejects forever ago. Is it the same? Is it the same collection as like House of a Thousand Corpses? Is that the same? Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, excellent,
dude. Like forever ago. That was like 25 years ago, wasn't it? That was so long ago.
I took my wife to see House of a Thousand Corpses in theaters the day it came out, and I think she almost broke up with me. I think she was like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you like this?"
Yeah, I gotta find more
the shit out of her back then when I was like into like those really dark horror movies and Insane Clown Posse, and she was like, "What the fuck's wrong?"
with ICP, come on, man. Yeah, that's
I had all those CDs.
Yeah, you're dressing up like a juggalo over there.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta find that. You did have a list. I've gotta find where the heck I put that. It's around here somewhere, but dang it. And even like I made a list out of everything you guys talked about on Decade of Horror. Like I've got lists.
I figured you would have had it on your notes.
It might be in here. I don't know, dude. There's a lot to go through while we're chatting.
I love the Devil's Rejects. God, it's so good. He's had some really good ones. Halloween was really good. 31 was really good. Like I wish he'd make some more. He's had some misses, but they all do.
I'm trying to,
Those-
because the other
those are
part too is
bad
I'm not
passages.
reading like typed out notes. Like these are handwritten, so
Yeah, every
takes
time
a
you show
little
me
bit.
notes, I always think of like it very much looks like something you'd see like on like lyrics on like an included album.
Yeah,
Or some
these are my
shit.
Dave Grohl notes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's exactly
yeah,
what I
these,
think of.
like my Dave Grohl font. I don't know if this is a list you've assigned, but for whatever reason, this seems to. This is The
Because we did kind of.
Descent,
Oh yeah, that'd be the list.
Ginger
You got it.
Snaps, Werewolf, Hereditary, Night of the Comet,
I
Urban
love Night of the
Legend,
Comet.
Videodrome, Poltergeist, Halloween, Evil Dead remake. Yeah, this
Fede
is
Alvarez's Evil Dead, one of my favorite movies, Sean.
yeah. Trick or Treat.
You know, he's making the new Alien movie. Comes out next month.
I definitely need to check that out.
That's him.
Do I need
That's
to like
Fede
watch
Alvarez.
the? Do I need to watch any Prometheus movies to catch up on any of this new Alien movie? Like, can I
don't
just
know.
watch it?
I don't think so. I think it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Fede is you either love him or I think you don't. He's doing Alien Romulus. He did Don't Breathe. Did you catch that movie?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Don't Breathe 1 and 2. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
He also
I
did
never saw the
Texas
second one.
Chainsaw reboot. I don't think was
That was
very
that
good.
was the old blind guy. Is that the one? Don't
Yeah.
breathe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Those
took
are
a
good.
turn. Yeah.
Those were good.
Yep.
And then he did the Evil Dead remake, which I never thought could happen. And not only did it happen, it was excellent.
Hell
And
yeah.
my hot take, I think it's better.
Yeah, I know
Like,
that. I know you've
stand
mentioned
by
that.
it. I stand by it.
I had Evil
I-
Dead on
I
my
think
wish
it's
list on
better.
Amazon. How are we doing here today? Evil Dead Rises is on sale, but I already have that one.
Yeah, I
Evil
really
Dead
like that one.
2013, the Steelbook is $41. Good God.
Wait a minute, which one? Which Steelbook?
2013 Evil Dead.
What
Oh,
does
it's
it look
the girl's climbing up out of a gate or something or some
Let me show
trapdoor.
you.
Yeah. There is another one. There's two that I've got another. Oh, you have the other one? Donnie's. I think I have both of these wish listed. My wish list on Amazon is way, way, way out of control. I've got like books on here. I've got sunglasses.
what
I've
you
got
like.
comics. What?
Fede Alvarez is the Evil Dead is that I have a special edition, a special Steelbook Blu-ray print. Still in the wrapper.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. This one's a hard
Oh,
one to come by.
nice. Oh, what about Alien Covenant? Do I need to watch that?
I haven't seen that one in I want to say maybe ever, but no, I definitely seen it. I don't think I like that one.
Yeah, I don't know that many. Like, I don't remember hearing too much about it, but it's there. Is that the one
Yeah,
after?
yeah, now
Would
I
that be
see.
after
Yeah,
Resurrection?
It was after Prometheus.
After
I
Prometheus.
didn't
Okay.
like that one as much. But I liked Prometheus, and everybody hated that one.
I
So,
feel like these movies are. If it was another franchise, maybe I would just like ignore it. But I feel like I need to watch these again. Definitely Prometheus again. And then there was a Prometheus 2. I want to just
Was
like.
there?
Wasn't there?
Yeah.
I thought you just said it. That's why I was. I don't know. that.
No. Covenant was after Prometheus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here's the two Halloween collections. There's one Halloween 1978 collector's edition. Oh, that's just the one movie. That's not a collection. There is a Halloween 4K collection 1995 to 2002.
What does it look like?
What is this? It looks like a bunch of newspaper clippings.
Let me get on. I gotta open up Amazon, I guess.
But it's $158.
That's the one I have.
Which ones
I
are in
don't
here?
know why it's that
1995.
expensive.
Where's the description on this? What movies come in this? Is there no product description? Like, come on, man. There's 3 4K films. Oh, that's it?
Oh,
Halloween
no, that's the
Resurrection,
new
Halloween
one.
H2O,
That's the
and
new one.
Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers.
That's the
For
new one.
$158.
What they did is they re-released every one of the movies individually. I think they're like 25, 30 bucks a piece. And then they put them on a collection and sold them. I have the Blu-ray collection, not the 4K collection. Halloween, the complete collection is the one that I have, what it's called. And right now it's selling on Amazon for $193. I have no idea why this movie is selling for so much, why this box collection went crazy. I guess it just went out of print super early. I've noticed it
Yeah.
for a while that people like the price just keeps going up and up and up for this one.
Oh, man. That's too much.
I should sell it. But
There's a
then I don't have
Halloween
my own.
trilogy on 4K for $32. Pretty good.
Why are you I think I've missed the point. Why are we shopping for Halloween movies? Do you have a Halloween movie to watch?
Because they're on sale and it's Prime
Oh,
Day, and
okay,
we're
gotcha.
chatting about horror
I'm
movies.
just trying
I'm
trying to pick up. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, this Halloween, I think, and maybe Alien to a certain extent. Like, there's just some of these franchises that I just feel like I should have. Like they're seminal. Like they're just pillars.
Yep.
Yeah,
Halloween for sure.
And I went through that last year. Like
Halloween
I've got a collection with Jason movies and collection of a bunch of others.
Modern slasher movie. I mean, it is, it picked up where like Texas Chainsaw like created the formula, but Halloween is definitely what brought it mainstream.
Yeah. What are these? Halloween? Oh, I don't think people like these. Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills, and Halloween
I don't know about people. I think people do. I'm not a super fan of the most recent trilogy.
Okay.
I think the first one was good. I think the other two are just all right.
But I can't have like one of a
more
set.
reductive than anything else. I don't really see a reason why they're there.
This is where I'm a broken person though, Donnie. Like the trilogy is there to own. I can't just have one of the movies.
I mean, you don't own the movies in the list that we gave you that you just read off. I think you should be looking at those movies.
That's probably true.
I want you to watch The Descent for sure.
Yeah.
Night of the Comet is super fun. Watch that with Chelsea. You guys will
have fun. Literally the word I have next to it in the notes is it's fun. A laugh. In brackets.
It's a laugh. You're just gonna laugh. It's dumb fun. That's the shit me and my wife love the most.
What did you say just before that movie that I need to watch?
The Descent.
The Descent.
Yeah. You should pick that up for like $4 or $5. That shouldn't be that much.
Blu-ray, $20.
That's a little high for a movie that old, but sure.
Yeah. Original uncut edition on Blu-ray. There's Descent 2.
Not like a used copy for $1 or something.
I mean, that's probably the better way to go about this rather than just straight from Amazon.
The Descent is one of my sleeper faves. Every time I ever meet a person, anytime I ever meet a person who's never watched The Descent, like that's a go-to. I'm like, have you ever heard of The Descent? They're like, what's The Descent? I'm like, watch it immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't even need to own it.
You should always check if it's streaming somewhere. Really? I only own movies that I love. I mean, I know I'm talking to you know what I'm talking about because you've heard me talk about these, but there are movies that I think are shelf worthy. The Descent is shelf worthy.
Right. That's kind of why I'm on Amazon. Let's see. We're experiencing. I tried to just play The Descent right now while we're chatting, and I stream this on Amazon Prime. We're experiencing a problem with a player of the video. Or why?
I guess I need to check my wish list and see if any of the movies that I wanted to buy are on sale.
That's what I'm going through this week. Just like, what do I have on my wish list? And maybe I just based outside the US, some titles might not be available in your current location.
Lame.
Oh, because I'm on .com. I almost never watch Amazon Video on a browser, I'm realizing.
I gotta find I gotta get some new. I gotta figure out what my new addition to the Halloween setup this year is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let's see here. Any Prime Day deals?
The Descent.
Any of this stuff.
Am I in the right place now? Please?
Yeah, none of my stuff is really on sale, dude.
What do you got?
None of the stuff on my wish list that I'm looking for.
Okay, this is absolutely working on Amazon Prime. So I can watch this tonight.
Beautiful. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
It's 9:30. What the hell? Didn't we start this before dinner?
I started right after dinner, like immediately after.
I thought Chelsea just dropped off these chicken McNuggets. Maybe I could watch a movie. I feel like I got to go to work in 5 minutes here. Okay.
Yeah.
The Descent. Any other movies I need to watch?
What was on that list?
What?
Read me that list again.
Oh, hang on. I gotta open up mine. I feel like you have more than just this.
I'm sure I do. I could.
The Descent. Ginger Snaps or Ginger Snaps Werewolf.
Not a super favorite of mine. I feel like that's a Ryan pick.
Probably. I think you guys did go back and forth. Yes.
I think Ginger Snaps might be on my list this year for my wife. I don't think she's ever seen Ginger Snaps.
What's Werewolf? Is that a movie?
That's what I was wondering. What is
I'm
that?
not sure what I have to go back and listen. My notes aren't maybe the best here.
American Werewolf, like in London.
There's another note down below. Yeah, American Werewolf in London. Yes.
That's a classic.
Maybe that was just using shorthand.
Classic good horror movie.
Host.
Oh yeah, very good.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat is a seminal Halloween movie. Like seminal. Like gotta watch it.
This looks
Classic.
like Tenebrae. I'm
Yeah.
reading scratchy notes. That's probably does that ring a bell?
Yeah. Probably another Ryan pick.
Yeah. Halloween is definitely on there just because it was kind of missed from the selection last year.
You never watched the first one?
I think I've seen it years ago. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Hereditary's on there. Night of the Comet, you said it was fun.
Super fun.
Videodrome, you said it was weird.
Yeah. And in the best way. James Wood. I love Videodrome. Okay. Yeah. The Descent, Trick or Treat.
Yep.
There was another one you read that I read them again.
Okay. Did the Descent, Ginger Snaps, which was probably a Ryan pick, Hereditary, Night of the Comet, Urban Legend. I don't think I said that before.
You would love Urban Legend, maybe.
Okay.
It's very 90s.
So this list is holding
90s horror.
Yes.
I love Urban Legend. It also has the voice of Chucky.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But the actor is in the movie. He's not Chucky.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's great.
Videodrome, you said was weird.
Yep.
These two movies are, again, kind of like seminal, important horror movies that I haven't seen. Or at least I don't remember watching. The original Halloween, I don't remember much at all. And Poltergeist, I don't think I've seen that one. I think I've seen it like parodied 1,000 times.
My 3 picks from there would be The Descent, Hereditary, and Trick or Treat.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
And then I would save. Don't watch Trick or Treat around kids or anything like that.
I'm not watching these around the kids. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. You can watch like Poltergeist is a very like, baby's first horror movie.
Yeah.
And then what I was gonna say is if you want a fun popcorn flick that's like dumb that you don't have to pay a super attention to and like laugh at I'm not sure if you're into this. This is something me and my wife do a lot, so I don't know if I'm projecting here. My wife and I love to find a stupid old horror movie that's implausible and dumb and terrible acting and pop popcorn and get some drinks going and just laugh and talk while this shit plays in the background. And my favorite pick for that movie is Night of the Comet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is that movie.
Yeah.
It's so fun and dumb and stupid and 80s. It's very 80s, or like
I'd love to watch a horror movie with Chelsea.
Shopping Mall is another one just like that.
Yeah.
The fucking kids get stuck in a mall with a killer droid, like robot. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't have anybody like Chelsea is specific with the horror movies that she loves Poltergeist, like it's one of her favorite movies, but she won't watch Paranormal Activity with me.
I was going to ask, what is her? Because my wife also has a couple specific lanes.
Yeah.
I go and pick things for her. So what's Chelsea's lane? Maybe I can help you find.
Well, that's as much as I know about it, to be honest with you. Is Poltergeist she likes, Paranormal Activity she doesn't. So I want to lean into this a little bit.
Any idea what it is about Poltergeist that she likes?
Maybe campiness, maybe that it I think the thing about Paranormal Activity that she doesn't
super scary.
Yeah, like it's not gory as far as I know. It's not like it's not hostile or anything like that.
Has she seen like the thing that immediately comes to mind? She's seen Carrie.
I have no idea. What if she's around?
I would think Carrie or like The Shining, maybe.
Yeah.
And if you want to go like maybe maybe one step further, like maybe the first like Conjuring.
Oh yeah.
Insidious. Those are kind of.
I like Insidious. Yeah. What
Conjuring is a great
movies do you?
Ooh! I've got one for you. The Babadook.
The Babadook.
The Babadook. No.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Write this down. Put this on your list. The Babadook.
I'm planning on re-listening back to this anyways.
Babadook. The Babadook. Great movie. Excellent movie.
Baba.
Yeah, The Babadook.
Okay. On the iPad.
And that's
I've
a
actually-
good, like, and I mean this with all the respect in the world, that's a really good, like, wife horror movie.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, snap. Look at this thing. I just Googled it. What imagery?
Yeah. It's like The Conjuring, but not so far down that hole. I don't wanna say
Oh, I
Conjuring
love it.
Light because they're similar, but maybe Light. Maybe Conjuring Light.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe,
I'll
like,
check it out.
or if it's the not so scary, honestly, The Witch.
Yeah.
So
The Witch-
Robert
The Witch-
Eggers is the director for The Witch. He's the one doing the Nosferatu remake that comes out this year at Christmas. That's
Yeah.
why everybody's really excited because it's him.
Around Christmas, is that what you said?
Yeah, it comes out
I
Christmas
love
Day.
that. I love it. I love it. Give me scary movies on Christmas.
He did the Lighthouse and the Northman. So his little run of horror movies are like excellent. Like he's done The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, and here comes Nosferatu.
Is the Northman like a Viking thing? Like a
Yeah. With Anya
nice.
Taylor-Joy in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Princess Peach.
So he has
Sounds
like a
good.
big he has like a big movie, like I mean in the horror space, which these are all kind of horror, like The Lighthouse definitely is, but I don't know, the Northman's more of little
So many.
He's got a big picture kind of persona when it comes to the horror space. Like he's a big get. A Robert Eggers movie is an event. That's a notable thing.
I have a couple days off work surrounding my birthday, which is at the end of the month. I'm going to turn 40.
Nice.
And I feel like this might be what I just
Old
do.
man.
Maybe I just watch movies.
Well,
It's very like I've had some days off and I don't do what I want.
I watched that FPS documentary on Father's Day.
Yeah, I still haven't even watched that. Golly. What am I doing with my what am I doing with my time?
You're healthy. You're not fat like me because I'm sitting around watching movies, eating popcorn and candy.
That sounds great though. That sounds awesome. What if I got to show for it? I got a bum ankle. I
not nearly as cool. Not nearly as cool horror movie opinions. You see how far that's getting me in life. You see how far that's taking me.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah, man, my opinions on these things sucks. I really got to bone up on this stuff. Oh, dude, there's so much. There's too much to get to. I got this load of comic books I haven't read at all. I like collecting it though. Like that's definitely a thing. I'll offload all these amiibo and everything behind me. You know, I'll start a new collection of movies that I don't watch.
A collection of horror movies behind you.
Hell yeah,
I would love to see it.
Just movies, horror movies just loading up behind me.
Horror movie,
yeah, because this is where I work as well.
Would be like, you can't hang out with Don anymore.
Yeah, no, it'll show up at work before it shows up in my marriage. People at work, because people at work already kind of look at your background. Like your kids must love. Like, shut up! Don't even.
What are you talking about? I'm the one over here with this fucking art behind me and Chucky. Every time I hop
what do people at work say?
What the fuck? Donnie's a psychopath.
Oh man, so funny. Yeah, but what if I just start having horror movie paraphernalia back there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
start showing up with Chucky dolls and stuff.
The Babadook. I'll have the Babadook showing up.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna like that.
Now I want to over enunciate the okay.
You're gonna like the Babadook.
Yeah, it looks sweet. I feel like that's what I look like when I'm surprised. The little top hat and just just open eye.
That's so dumb.
I know. Hey, that's me. That's a gift I have, Donnie. I see myself in everything.
I got one more if I can let you go. Did you like the 28 days, 28 weeks later's movies?
I only saw 28 Days Later when it first came out, and I think I need to rewatch it. I think I was immature.
More indifferent on it. Then never mind. Okay.
I want to rewatch. I own it. I have the DVD, and I've
watched a movie this year that it was on Tubi. I scrolled across. It looked like an interesting cover. I started watching it, and I was like, the hell if this doesn't feel like it fits right at home in that universe. And I really liked it. And I'm going to talk about it on this year's show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man, I wish you guys did more. I know I'm asking now for the third or fourth podcast for you to do.
Right. Yeah.
But the once per year, it's like, golly, I need more. I need more horror. I need more opinions. I just need more Donnie content. Like that's all I need.
Well, I would love to do it more often, but
I
do
know.
like that we set aside the time for it as a special episode. I think gives something
Very
people to
sweet.
look forward to. But also, it's not as topical throughout the year. You know, if we show up like, here's a horror movie in April, you know, it's like I don't think people are really. But like, oh, here's the.
I do. Like I want it.
A lot of people don't really listen to our decade of horror anyway. Like those
Yeah.
shows just don't do very well. So
Yeah.
you know, Yarden says Train to Busan, excellent movie.
The Platform.
You never seen that one either?
No, never even heard of it.
Train to Busan?
Nope.
Can you watch movies with subtitles?
Yeah, of course.
That's one of the best zombie movies ever made.
Really?
100%. Without
Okay.
a question, it's one of the best zombie movies ever made.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, I can read words. So
some people don't do subtitles. Some people are like,
I love subtitles. Yeah.
I watch all movies with subtitles.
Yeah. Funny enough, when I play some JRPGs, I'll play them in Japanese because I think the voice acting is better. Even though I don't understand what they're saying, I'll still read the subtitles. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. The Platform is a very excellent pick for something that's like off the reservation and weird and different.
Shout out to Yarden. When is Yarden going to get a podcast? I feel like Yarden's got great opinion.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Yarden. Or Jarden, I feel like. Just reverse.
Be on Jace's imaginary podcast.
Dude, oh man. Jace, if Jace is listening, I don't even know if Jace is around. Sometimes we summon Jace.
Probably not.
I feel
3
like
hours and 30 minutes later, probably not.
Maybe this is exactly what he would be here for.
He's like
3.5 hours later.
He's like, fuck off. Been here the whole time. That'd be like the most
exactly. Yeah. Races over to his phone just to type in the chat, just like, I'm here.
Shows how much fucking know.
I feel like Jace's Twitch stream would be even more popular if he had a podcast that went along with it. Like he's got to do both. Sometimes you can do just Twitch. I feel like he needs to do the podcast to then drive people to the Twitch stream. I think he's got to do both of the things. I just think that. I just think sometimes you do.
I don't think most Twitch streamers have podcasts.
I agree, but sometimes you got to like, that's great and lucky for them. But I think sometimes you got to have that extra outreach. You know, I feel like when we fire up a stream, not that we're like hugely successful or anything, but when we fire up a stream, we'll get like 10 or 20 people watching. And I think it's because we cultivated the community through the podcast. And I just think like, man, like,
that's true.
I think he's got really cool, and it's more of a commentary. Like I think he's got cool and interesting things to say, and that maybe there's discoverability
I agree with you there
through a podcast that,
and then the stuff that you just don't necessarily get out of him on stream.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And as it turns out, he's a really good streamer, and he plays interesting games, and he's natural talk. Like he's just a natural speaker, and I just want more people to know about him. So shout out to Jace and Yarden apparently.
Yeah, for sure. Yarden's got excellent taste in horror movies.
Yeah, nice. Okay, Yarden, keep me on track with this. Donnie won't. Donnie and I.
Fun of you at the end of the year when you don't. Do
exactly. Donnie won't do that, but Yarden is a better friend. So yeah, Yarden, please bug me about this. Please keep on me.
Please save Sean from.
I need assistance. Yeah, your horror opinions suck. You don't know anything about anything, you stupid dummy.
I gave you the movies. You didn't watch them.
You didn't even watch them. I'm like, shut up, Donnie. I'm waiting for Black Friday and Prime Day for sales. Okay, that's how I do this.
Yeah, at some point we're actually getting pretty close there. I will keep.
Yeah, it's coming.
I'll keep watching a few of these, but once we hit September, I'm gonna start to stop watching the new ones and start watching the old ones so I can get ready for the show.
Yeah,
because last year I watched a lot of old movies going to the show, and I definitely it picked me up. Because a lot of times I'm watching the new things just to do it for the show.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. It's like they're not my favorites. I don't really, half time I don't even like half of them.
It's occurring to me in this moment, Donnie, I'm really frustrated with myself because there's been weeks, if not months, out of this year so far where I'm like, I don't know what to play. I don't know what's next. Why didn't I just go watch a movie? Like I'm not good at that. Yeah. Like I should just
that was me with the damn Still Wakes the Deep. I was like, I don't want to do this. Let me just watch something else.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, why should you just do that? If I'm playing something and I'm not really like loving it, I go like, I don't know what else to play. Then I might as well just waste my night not doing anything. Why don't I just watch a movie? You know,
that's me every week.
I have watched a few movies this year, but
I've
it's
been
not
watching
like
a lot of
not enough.
Top Gear.
Oh, Top Gear's classic.
Yeah,
Top Gear's
so I've
so
been
great.
rewatching a shit ton of that
Yeah,
the
nice.
last year and a half. I found them a lot during COVID.
Yeah,
So like I found like the Grand Tour and all that early COVID.
yeah.
And then since then I've been going back and watch all the special. I mean, now I've been going back and watching all the episodes. So
good. So entertaining, endlessly entertaining,
very much
timeless.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched more movies than usual this year, but none of them are horror. Like we watched Gone Baby Gone, we watched The Prestige, Top Gun
What are
Maverick.
those? I don't even know what
The Prestige is
No, I know
Christopher
the
Nolan.
Magic Trick movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that
What-
movie's excellent.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time.
I thought you were talking about new movies. I was like, they remake
No,
it?
I'm not watching any new movies. No,
Oh,
these
okay.
are all movies on my shelf.
I'm excited for Twisters as well, but I don't expect it to be good.
Yeah, I want to watch Twisters.
The trailer looks awful.
Yeah.
But I'm an emergency manager. I honestly, I think for years I would tell kids I would do like career days, and they'd be like, "Why did you become an emergency manager?" And I've always laid the blame at like I grew up loving movies like Twister and Volcano
yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
2012.
Volcano,
like,
yeah,
it's
man.
like I love these end of the world movies.
Yep.
It was like a
Armageddon,
natural
of course.
fit. It was a
You were just
natural
about
fit
to
for
say
me
it.
to do these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that
Yep.
stuff. I love a good disaster movie.
Oh,
So
none of them are as good as Armageddon. It's a high bar, I know, for any other movie to
Armageddon
top.
is an excellent movie.
Thank you.
really
I
is.
get ridiculed for this. This is my favorite
No,
movie ever. It's
it's an
top of
incredible
my
movie.
list. I
Very good.
love Armageddon.
Production value through
Oh.
the roof. Great actor, great leads, great support,
Dude.
great comedy.
The cast is endless.
It really is. It really
Everybody's
is.
in that movie.
It's very good.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I feel
Very
good.
90s.
Oh, yeah. Like, best year of my life. 1998 was the best year of my life, dude.
I think it's
Half-Life.
easy to hate on that because of that fucking song.
I love the
that
song.
just got endlessly played though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that creates the. Speaking of hating, do you know there's a documentary about
Nickelback.
Nickelback?
I knew you were
I
going to
watched it.
Yeah.
It sucked. The documentary is not very good. And I was like, this is a shame because they
Yeah.
made a documentary about how much they hate. I was like, you know what? I hate this documentary. This documentary
man.
sucks.
Oh, I didn't watch.
'Cause-
Chelsea watched it and she told me a little bit about it. But
Did she like it? Because I was like,
she
this is
liked
pretty
it,
bad.
yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, I like Nickelback, so I don't know if that matters.
I do
in
too.
terms of,
I've always
like,
stuck up for Nickelback.
yeah, I've liked Nickelback. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them countless times. I saw them open for Creed, like back before anybody knew who they were.
Very
They opened,
cool.
they're like local Alberta band. Nickelback is opening for Dot Stap and Seven Dust. They had Nickelback opening for Seven Dust and Creed
It's a
back.
killer show.
It was an awesome show, dude. It was incredible. Yeah. But I'd like to watch that Nickelback documentary. I'd like to check that out.
Don't.
Yeah. No?
It's just
Really?
pretty whiny. It's pretty whiny.
Ah.
Yeah. and I
Well,
was like,
Chelsea watched
not
it and I
what I
started
wanted.
listening to more of it. I'm listening to Nickelback a lot right now.
I mean, I have like for me, I think for me, Nickelback is like it's per song and I'm very hit or miss. Either
Oh,
love it or I
definitely.
hate it.
Absolutely.
There's really not a whole lot of like I'm meh on this Nickelback song. bands,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
So they're not my favorite band, but I do think they've long gotten way more hate than they have any deserving right to have.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
very
I
good.
agree.
They have a lot of hits.
Yep.
They've lasted a long time in a period where a lot of bands didn't. And they deserve
Yep.
the flowers for what they've accomplished. There's not a lot of people like Nickelback around.
Yep.
Like
Good band.
and that's something. It's not nothing.
Mm-hmm. They stole that
great-
drummer from Three Doors Down.
He's a great drummer, man. He's really good though.
I know. Such a random piece of true. Like, who even knows that?
I told my wife that for
Who
years.
cares?
I'm like, the drummers, man, he's really good though.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He drives a lot of their music.
They snagged him from Three Doors Down, and then the first song in the very next record, drum solo, kicks off the record.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this guy rules. All right, Donnie.
I think that's it.
Is that enough?
We did the thing.
Is that
That's a
enough for
lot.
you people?
A lot more than I thought we were going to do, for sure.
Yeah, nice early start. It's great. And
Yeah.
I look for. I appreciate that. Last month was a lot of Summer Game Fest. We got a little off track with some things, but yeah, appreciate doing this with you and tons of content on Patreon. Like we're flooding people. We got a backlog of
crank it
Patreon
out.
content.
We are not. We're lucky to have
Mm.
shows.
Why do you
We're
do
getting there.
more shows? More shows, Donnie. More.
Not for me. Maybe
I'm
you
not
talk to-
entertained
you
yet.
talk to the
I'm
other
not entertained
folks.
enough.
You know, get Nathan and them. Start telling him we don't come out of retirement. Nathan and Jason, get Kevin back.
Jason, we need back. Nathan already quit the game. Nathan made it clear he quit the game. He's out of here.
A bunch of
Jason, I don't believe it yet. Jason, I
can come
don't.
back.
Jason, I don't believe it. No,
He's
it's
got a
not.
lot to say.
It's not a commentary on that. It's a
Oh, I love
commentary
it.
on who
It
I
was
think
great.
is
Great slam.
actually gone. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Nathan
Killer slam
Nathan
slam.
left and he never looked back. Jason Lacey, I don't believe it. I don't believe you're done. I don't think he wants to be done. I think he's trying to convince himself that he thinks he's done, but he ain't done. That's my take on Jason Lacey. Yeah. Like Nathan left and found purpose in life, you know.
Oh yeah. He's doing the same thing
Jason
you,
still
you-
needs this.
super healthy and all that. He's living his
Yeah.
best life. He's like fucking
Totally.
cybersecurity professional. He's traveling the
Totally.
world.
Getting all these certifications and all the
awards.
you know. Yeah.
He's in San Fran. He's in Chicago. He's in Houston.
Yep.
He's in Miami.
I met him in Chicago. I had
He's
lunch with
taking
him.
the world by storm. I am
Yeah.
living in my basement playing college football video games
Hell yeah.
at almost 40.
Yeah, we rule.
And with that, sweet hangs, everybody.